Good morning, my bodacious brothers and my absolutely gorgeous little honey bunnies.
Hello.
It's Noushy and Joey here this morning. Just wanted to let you know we have an incredible podcast today with William Lifestyle, a.k.a. William J.Dubb Smith, a.k.a. my mentor, my brother. I can't express enough how much love and gratitude I have for this man. We're going to get right into it. Just wanted to let the listeners know that from about 21 minutes to 51 minutes, there's a slight snap, crackle, pop. You're going to hear a little bit, but this story is literally too big to let anything get in the way. So without further ado, enjoy this incredible podcast with William J.Dubb Smith. Bow.
Mama, we made it! Bang, 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 bang. What it do, dawg? Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, we have William J.Dubb Smith in the motherfucking building.
The legend.
What up?
He truly is a legend, though. To me, J.Dubb has literally been one of the most pivotal forces in my life. It started off as a cadet in the military, the type of relationship it started off at, right? And then I joined his SEAL Team 6 after I almost died.
I tell your friends.
I feel like Cuba Gooding Jr. in Men of Honor, you know what I mean? But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you here with us, Dubb.
Thank you.
And even more so, I'm excited that we have the ability on this platform to really go through your story and your journey. And the reason why I say that is because to me, and I know for a lot of people, you are such a strong force, not only culturally, but just like from a community standpoint, right? And I've been able to have discussions with you and know that your story is way more intricate than a lot of people know or understand. But what they see is the accumulation of that and who you become and how you're such a dominant force and a connector within this realm. So this is really going to be a treat. Baby.
That's a good intro.
That's
Noushy.
a hell of an intro,
Baby,
man. Shit.
baby.
I don't even know if I want to say anything.
We're done.
You feel me? All right, y'all. Thank you so much. That was great, Dubb.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for being here to listen to this.
Thanks for watching me blink.
Yeah. But let's start here because I know that you grew up in a military household, and you moved around a lot as a kid. Like let's start there. Let's start with young Dubb.
That dude. Man, that was an interesting dude because that was an interesting time in life. Like, since you've known me, it's I've been like I'm definitely a people person, but I definitely move around by myself a lot.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of things on my own shoulder because, growing up in a very dominant military family, being that my entire heritage is pretty much military. Mother, grandparents, their parents, like it's all military until it came down to my cousins and I, which was 3 of us, and none of us joined the military.
Yeah.
And
it reached a tipping point.
Oh, it hit that tipping point. I was like, I ain't doing this shit. And I just remember going to school where, now everyone's so connected with like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah. We didn't have that, kind of dating myself, but we didn't have that capability or that was never an option. So for me, when I knew you, it was literally just those moments. There was no long-term connection because, we were kids. We weren't writing letters to each other, no shit like that.
Yeah.
So I would know people for 2 years, sometimes 3. And then I was off to another country or I was gone to another state.
What was that like for you as a kid?
Man, it was the toughest thing. It's as an adult now, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
As maybe a strong, independent individual. But at the same time, going through it as a child and you don't know the benefits of it, it's very tough because, your parents are definitely your support system. But as you grow older and wiser, the people that you become friends with, the people that you become acquaintances with, that's your foundation. Those are your life lessons. Yeah. And it was a benefit that I had so many
Yeah.
But then it was a burden, and it was like, you know, it pained my soul for a long time because I wouldn't know anyone. And now you see people grow up with everyone. I didn't grow up with one person. There's no one that has grown up with me beside my family that has known me from a child till now. That's a crazy
insane.
thought.
That's insane.
You know?
Let me ask you.
Well, sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I'm like blown away by that because you hear about that. Look, I grew up, I know the same people since I was 4 years old, from kindergarten to fucking high school and college.
Wow.
The exact same school, everything, the whole way up.
I wish.
And those are like my bonds. Like I think about my social circle now, that's what it is. It's still like that core kind of group. And when I hear people that come from military families that go from, you know, one to another, to another, to another, it's like the second you start to actually have a connection or have like a real tie with somebody, you're torn apart from it. And without any social media, it's got to be fucking torturous.
You're literally violently ripped from it.
Yeah. Wow.
A tear you can take back up, bond it, mend it. This shit it's ripped because as a child, you know, time prep was never a factor. Mm-hmm. It was like, you know, your parents woke you up at a certain time. You had to be at school at a certain time. You're done at school every single day at the same time. There was a simple routine. And when you're part of this military family as a kid to where you don't have a voice or you don't have a say, and, you know, you can't tell your parents that you're going to feel this way because you don't even know you're going to feel this way. This type of like emptiness and this type of like, well,
do you even know what that is at that point?
No, man.
Or is it just like a tear?
It was literally it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking because, you know, we just went to school Monday to Friday, and, you know, you guys are all making plans on doing sleepovers and playing sports. I'm getting ready to go on a flight to Germany. You know,
how'd that shape your identity? Like, did you ever feel you could kind of be a new person every time you move? Or, you know, friends, when you grow up, friends and the people around you really shape who you are, what you're into, the trends that are going on, the culture that you're on, that you're around. And when you're moving around so many different things drastically, even from state to state, city to city, you know, a person who grows up in the suburb versus someone who's very much in the city have two completely different identities.
Yeah.
You know, you're tied to certain things. Your roots are in different places. How do you know, with you not even having real roots anywhere, what does that do to you is how you kind of see yourself?
It definitely changed me. It made me become a certain type of person to where you now at my age now and where I'm at now, you can throw me in any scenario and I'll figure it out. Give me 5-10 minutes. It's, you know, I'll be able to swim with the best of them that are in there.
Yeah.
You know, you throw me in a room with anyone, I'll figure it out eventually within that time frame that's necessary and needed for that, so that it's not a uncomfortable experience or I'm not that odd person out unless I choose to be.
You have to be able to assimilate.
You have to be able to assimilate, man. It creates
and integrate.
Yeah, both. But it creates a person who is capable of walking away and moving into anything and trying anything, which is a very scary individual at some point.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, if some shit's not popping off, it's not working, it's like, oh, let's can this. Or say if this project doesn't work out, it's a failure. And we see that because we've calculated so many scenarios like this.
Yeah.
You scrap it. You start over.
It's an easy scrap, though.
It's an easy scrap. There's no attachment. There's no mental bond. Emotional bond.
Yeah.
But knowing that now as an adult, it makes you, you know, when it comes to like relationships and friendships, when I have those and when I find those, the ones that I want to keep, I value those more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's a true friendship for me is more valuable than money and anything, man.
Yeah.
It's something that, you know, like my cousin, you know, love him to death, JR, that was my best friend, which is, it's totally fine, but that's my family member. We're supposed to be anyway, you know,
Yeah.
I wanted to meet kids that I was going to grow up with and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. And I'd say that didn't happen to me until actually maybe high school.
Did your parents like sit you down and discuss with you like, look, we're moving again?
It's a great question.
We have to go, or was it in that household? It's like it's understood. Was it discussed, or was it just understood?
As when I was very young,
Yeah.
it was kind of like understood, but I wouldn't have any like lead time up to it. Like I remember the first time it really happened. It's I met my stepdad for the first time, so I don't know my pops.
Right.
So I met my stepdad for the first time. My mom was in Germany, and I was actually staying in Oakland. And mom shows up maybe like say Wednesday, Thursday. That Friday, I was asleep at my grandmother's house, and I remember being abruptly woken up, taken in our car, and literally taken to the airport. And that was my transition from Oakland to Germany, how I recall it.
Oakland to Germany.
Yeah. Crazy.
How old were you there?
Think that was 5th and 6th grade.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you aware enough to be like, wait, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
right
it was just crazy, you know. Then you wake up in a foreign fucking land. Know nothing. Language, nothing.
Completely have to start
Wow.
Yeah.
How long were you in Germany for?
We stayed in Frankfurt, Germany for 2 years. Lived in a place called Wiesbaden, which is right outside of Frankfurt. Stayed there for 2 years. Lived on the army. Well, we lived off the army base, but I went to school on the army base. So I was always with kids that had the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was weird for us. It was kind of like, why even waste the time to get to know each other? Because we're going to
Wow,
be.
shit. Y'all already knew that.
We knew that once you do your first trip, you realize it. Because everyone has the same story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where are you from? Oh, man, I'm from San Diego, but, I was there last week and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you almost don't have a place where you're from.
Now, I mean, roots definitely embedded from the Bay, represent the Bay all day,
Yeah.
Oakland. And that's always home. That's where my family's at and everything. But, growing up wise, nah.
Yeah.
I've lived in LA. This is the longest place I've lived somewhere. And I've been out here since 2000, so 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you go from Germany to
from Germany, then I came back for the summer. After the 2 years, I would we'll put it this way: every year, when summertime hit, I would come back to the U.S. I would see my cousins and the friends that I would have, which majority of them were his.
Yeah.
And we'd stay the 2-3 months after summer, then right back overseas. So I remember after the 2 years in Germany, then came back, did summer in the Bay, and then ended up in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
What was that like?
Man, that was
That had to be a culture shock, like outside of even Germany, I feel like.
Yeah, because it was, you really saw.
No disrespect to Louisiana, but like we know where we're going here.
Now, I remember in Louisiana, that was the first time, you always read about race and slavery and everything, but to be immersed in the South during this time, I had never had anyone ever call me a nigger with ill will, or malice until I was there.
Wow.
And I think this was like either 7th grade or either 8th grade. We're walking off base. We're going to Dairy Queen, and right off of Fort Polk, there was one walking distance. And I remember a truck full of white dudes came out and said, "Niggers go home."
No way.
Wow.
And it was mind-boggling.
What was going through your head there?
It was of course I knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I had never been a recipient
Yeah.
of that term with malice.
Yeah.
And it was shocking because I didn't know what to feel. I was scared. I was nervous. But at the same time, I didn't know what was.
Were you alone? Were you with?
No, I was with my mom and my dad. And we were close enough to the base where the MPs actually saw it. So they approached. And then, I just remember my mom, my pops, like pretty much putting me behind them.
Yeah.
And, luckily it got diffused quickly. But it was an ill feeling. You know, I would never want someone to have that experience.
Jesus.
You know, so it was an eye opener. You know, that shit that you read about in books was
How long
real.
did you have to endure Louisiana for?
Yeah, seriously, it was an endurance.
Third world country over here.
Louisiana was a 2-year stint also,
Okay.
7th and 8th grade, and then, you know, came back. Would come back for the summers. You know, I would tell my cousins all the crazy shit that would
Yeah.
happen, and you know, they're from the Bay, and you know, California by itself, there's such a diverse
Yeah.
diverse state, and just, you know, people there is all about like love, freedom, like just positive like vibes and shit.
Yeah.
Out there, man, it was such a divide. Color was such a factor.
That's insane to me, bro.
You know, and having the opportunity of traveling the world and to see how majority of countries always try to embrace, you know, our American culture, African American culture. You know, you felt such love, but then to come back home, come back to the U.S. and to experience such like hatred toward you just being a certain color
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was surreal. It was nasty, man. It was
Like-
an ugly feeling.
Growing up, did you ever have like discussions or arguments with your parents as you started to get to like a level of just where you were able to put these thoughts into, I want to say, just like profound, you were able to express them well, where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do we keep moving? What are we doing here? When can we ever stabilize? Is that going to happen? Like, because these thoughts are brewing.
Yeah.
Right? Was that spoken about? Did that get...
I mean, that didn't get a lot of voice, you know, because at the time, you know, being brought up like that, everything was, you know, it was what it was.
Yeah.
You know, it was such a system now that it made sense to me. That was part of, you know, what I expected.
Yeah.
So I knew, you know, if we hit it off today, I knew 2 years from now, I am not going to see you again. And so it just became a way of life. You know, after 2 years, you know, you hit the restart button, do it all over again. So it made me become extremely, extremely open-minded about everything. You know, and taking each moment for what it is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it could be taken away from you. You know, and
So you saw it as, it became a blessing of sorts then?
it did, but not until I got older, though.
Okay.
You know, I'd say when I did Japan, when I went to Japan, and that's where I went to high school at, that's where I was like, man, I really, really just thought like, dude, this is actually a hell of an opportunity that I've been given. Granted, some of the things were fucked up, you know, but it was an opportunity, because I remember every time I would show back up in the States, people were just so curious. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, how's this part of the world? And that's what people were saying. Like, how's this part of the world? It was an idea that a dude from Oakland, you know, what the hell am I doing in Germany?
Yeah.
In Oakland, there wasn't a lot of dudes that were like me or looked like me that did that. You know, if they weren't in the military, normal kids didn't do that.
No.
You know, so to civilians, it was story time. You know, so I would just sit, you know, like with the homies and stuff, and we would just talk, and I would just be downloading all these stories and these places that I knew that they would probably never get the opportunity to see that, and so they lived vicariously through me. You know, so I became like a portal to every and anything outside of Oakland to people, and I used to like just share the stories and like, you know, pretty much my travels with the kids that I did know, that I did play baseball with and shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was always the cousin that traveled, you know.
That's incredible.
What was high school in Japan like?
Man, high school in Japan, that was awesome.
Because it's such like high school is like the most formative time. I feel like where, you know, it's just, that's when you can start having like real aspirations and you're becoming a teenager. You're getting some independence. You're feeling like, and doing that in such a place that it's so different and far away.
Oh man, it was, honestly, I always told people that, you know, when I did finish my time there, when I first came back to the U.S., I always thought, I was like, man, if I could hop on this flight right now and go back and nothing was there, I could accept that.
Really?
It was such a dream of a life out there in Japan.
In what way?
So, in many ways for me. So, when I first started out in Japan, I played football. It was like just super football, just jock. I was all in just sports and academics.
Was that was like they had a good football programs out there?
Yeah. So, no, everyone always asks that question. Like, we just played against a bunch of Japanese dudes.
Like, are you aspiring to be on the Raiders right now? Like,
yo, hey, nah, it was real out there. I mean, so like to break down
areas like Texas in there, and then like
so
you just don't hear that. Out
no, I know. So the thing about when you're in military schooling, you are mixed with like hand-picked kids that do come from everywhere in the U.S., everywhere around the world.
Got it.
And depending on what service your parents were in, like my parents were in the Army, so we were on this base called like Zama. Then there's like Air Force, which was Yokota. Then Navy, so forth and so on. So there was all these American schools that were out there, and there were also international schools. So we had like our divisions and stuff. I mean, we'd probably have like maybe 7 games during the season because there was only that many schools to play against. But yeah, man, it was dope, man. It was a hell of a time, and it was some fun times, man, because it was you really saw like a community of just all people that you saw like on like the type of people you see on TV, like on like Friday Night Lights, where you'd see like stadiums filled with like just people cheering. I actually got to see that there,
and that culture is really active.
Oh man, super active. It was them Japanese watching American sports. You felt like you were playing in the pros, man. We had dope stadiums that we played high school games at. Wow. You had like the lights and everything like that. So it was awesome, and it was the closest thing of what American like sports were.
Yeah.
So it was dope. You felt really connected, and so that felt like a real sense of what home, the idea of home would be like. And we all felt that way. And I mean it was a really exciting time because, being black and Japanese, there weren't that many black and Japanese kids there. And I was able to speak Japanese. I learned it. My grandmother taught me how to write hiragana and katakana when I was a kid.
You're a unicorn at that point. Like
unicorn, dude. It was amazing. So I was able to talk to Japanese kids, and also I had Japanese and American friends. So going off base and like, seeing their buildings and like walking down in Tokyo, going down to Shibuya, like just going shopping and going eating. It was such a vibrant, colorful, like welcoming of me into that culture.
Dude,
and you were able to plug in.
Oh yeah, totally plugged in. It was like, download everything you want. Pretty much just take this culture with you.
All of you. I speak all of y'all's language. Not only am I seeing this, experiencing it, but I'm plugged in. I can talk to anybody.
See, I didn't know you were black and Japanese.
Yeah.
That just changed.
When I'm tired, the eyes go back a little bit. Little nuances.
So this is amazing. So, I mean, that just opened me up because it's like, oh, okay, you're black and Japanese. This is going right into like part of your deep-rooted culture.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Where you can really just you'll kind of let loose and also grab onto something, latch onto something that you feel instantly connected to.
100%.
At that time in life too. This is high school.
This is high school, man.
That's amazing.
This is high school.
Like, oh my God, I'm dreading it. Like this is high school, and it lit up.
It lit the fuck up.
You could have gone to any other country, and you don't have that instant sense of connection. But just
this was instant home, man.
Yeah,
I felt like
home and the motherland of sorts.
Yeah,
and just your ability to just thrive instantly is just.
And you know what? I honestly did. It was the most comfortable I had ever been at that time. Like I just felt like I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Wow.
No joke. No.
From all of those hardships to like now I found somewhere where I belong.
This is the icing on the cake. But it did come to like a bittersweet end because I didn't get to finish high school there.
Oh God.
Yeah, midway through my senior year in high school, I had to transfer out because my parents were retiring.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
You couldn't just be like,
the chapter
"Look,
finally
Yo.
closed.
I'm old enough. Just give me like 6 more months.
Dude.
I got this.
no shit, I ran away from home in Japan. Yo, so yeah, shit got wild in Japan, man. I mean, that was the first time I had a drink. That was the first time I went to like a high school party.
Yeah.
First time I had like girlfriends and shit.
Yeah.
That shit out there, I end up being like a young Tyson Beckford. I did. Dude, I did
Model life.
model life. I was skipping class, and I ran into my homegirl Valerie Morshigi. She was getting picked up by the agency that she was rep by.
Shout out, Valerie.
Shout out to Valerie.
And I remember I'm just skipping class with her. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And her agent person that picks her up was like, "Yo, man, do you model?" I was like, "Man, I'm not down for that bullshit."
Yeah.
I was just all football,
Yeah.
like that's it. And then she was like, "No, I think you do good in it." Valerie was like, "Yeah, you should try it." So I had no idea what this world was like,
Yeah.
right? So I remember I go down, they take a couple pictures. So I'm like, "Oh, cool. So this modeling shit start now? Like, when's the
Yeah.
first job?" And they're like, "Nah, it doesn't work like that." I was like, "Man, fuck this."
You're like, wait, there's no check?
So I was bummed, and then I remember 2-3 months pass, no action. I was like, man, that was such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Then I remember getting a call.
Campaign status over here.
I did an Adidas campaign where I had a little afro.
The Kaepernick?
I had the Kaepernick. I had the Kaepernick before K made it hot again, and I was all on like billboards and magazines and
Yo.
shit. Yo, it was crazy.
What was that like for you though?
As a kid, man, I mean, it was it was dope. I didn't know how big it was.
Word. Okay.
So I remember there was like, yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be in magazine and on some posters.
Yeah.
Right. It was like, oh, okay, cool, dope. Mom like signed a contract, whatever. I made some money as a kid. Like, this was a lot of dough at the time,
Yeah. Straight up.
So I'm like, oh shit. Then I remember going off base with my friends and actually seeing it.
What was that like?
It was crazy because I was definitely very identifiable.
Yeah.
And we would be on the trains, and you look up, and I'm literally standing under a banner of myself, and it was I think my guy's name was Kyle. I'm not sure on his name, but
Kyle Kaepernick.
this guy, this white dude that was from my school, he was also in the campaign with me.
Word.
So we were both on that, and it was,
That is amazing.
dude, it was major.
Like pulling models out in
Yo,
Japan.
it was super major, and I still have copies of that shit to this day.
I need to see that. I've never seen that.
Oh man, it's a gem. Andres has seen it.
Oh wow.
So it's real.
That's hot.
100% real. So it was just so crazy because they, that's the black dude from the thing, and people would really like point and stare, and doing a campaign in Japan, man, that's equivalent to doing, a movie here.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Insane.
Oh, it was nuts. And then after that, did Adidas. There was one for this thing called Bickle, which was the Japanese version of Yoo-hoo. Of Yoo-hoo, the chocolate drink.
Yo, get it. Get it.
Is it kosher or dill, dog? You know what I'm saying?
I almost spit on the mixer board.
Wait, so Bickle was the Japanese version of Yoo-hoo?
Yeah, it was pretty much.
So was
that.
it like enjoy a Bickle? Like Yoo-hoo was
Oh,
catchy,
bro.
but like I don't think I'd ever like.
Bro,
Yo,
this-
can you grab me one of the Bickles, please?
Man, this Bickle thing was so funny
Bickle
because
team?
like Japanimation, it was actually shot for a commercial, and I remember I'm dribbling and then I jump, and so then they show me just like flying in the air, like
Yo.
bad graphics behind it.
Bickle
going
gave
up.
you wings before Red Bull.
And
did,
then I
bro.
got my shit slapped, like I got my shit blocked. And the dude who blocked me, he was drinking the Bickle.
He was off the Bickle.
Off the Bickle. The Bickle gave you wings, bro.
Wait, so he was blocking you and sipping the Bickle?
He had just-
Y'all were midair and he's got a Bickle?
No, dude,
And
it-
you got a ball?
He literally drank the Bickle and then hopped into the game and then slapped my shit out.
He became Vince Carter with the
Oh,
Bickle.
bro,
Like,
it was
Shout out to
so
Bickle.
funny. Bickle put the kid on TV for the first
that's
time.
lit. Were you a principal?
Principal, we know about that.
That's insane.
Yeah, man, that was all part of Japan. And
What'd
then,
that feel like though? Because like you young, you the Blackanese dude in Japan, bro.
Yo.
You know you knew you had the flex.
you were rock starring it. You were rock starring it. Like, you know, I would save up all my money, and that's when Cross Colors was popping. Kanai was the shit. The Filas with the white tops with the solid color bottoms.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
everything. So I used to save all my money, come back to the U.S., buy hella Cross Colors and shit, super color coordinated, come out there. I had like about 10 outfits, all money blown. But I was that dude.
At that time, was Japan as forward in terms of fashion, music, art, culture?
By far. And
Like, did they have the cross colors you came back with like a year before, and they're like, "Oh, you cool though"?
no. What the stuff I had, they got it after. The music that I would bring back, they'd get it after.
Wow.
But out there, the songs that they did have of ours, you'd hear like 90 different remixes of some shit you never heard of. But they were dope though. They were super dope. But nah, man, it was that was flexing then. Cross Colors and Kanais and Filas.
Oh, Kanai is.
Oh, dude, that
that.
was, and you know, that's when I first went to a club.
What was that like out there?
Man, we used to go. Oh God,
You had to be. I'm just gonna say you had to be getting all the attention. You black in Japan.
oh Black
And
and
you
Japan.
Blackanese.
Yes.
Right? And you play football.
Yep.
Right? And you're damn good.
Yep,
You just happen to be a model too.
it
On
worked
fucking
out.
commercials, drinking Bickles left and right. You know what I'm saying?
It
Getting
was
cast in Bickle campaigns and shit.
it was crazy.
What was that like? Because you have that aura now, right?
Yeah,
Like the beauty about you is there's such like cats that know you know it's wild to understand like you growing up that way and appreciating relationships that well because you have a very like empathetic interior. I wouldn't even say soft, but empathetic interior, right? But you do also know what you want and make that decision whether it's cutthroat or not, which also plays back into that because you're able to leave something quick, detach very fast.
indeed.
Right? But were you super swagging out on the Jamie Foxx and fucking what's the football movie, bro, with Al Pacino?
Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday, like just on swag level, or was it like? What was that like? Because you have a rock star persona now. I want to know if you were just taking flight then, or if it was like smooth, playalistic in high school.
It was smooth. It was smooth. It was low key in high school, man. I wasn't. Because at that same time, I was still reserved. Even though I felt like I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You just always
At
had
any
this,
given moment,
any
you
given
could be
moment,
gone.
boom, it could be gone. You know, so that always kept me a little
That's
reserved.
a trip, though, to like not be able to relish it fully because
Oh,
you know
man.
it could be taken away.
But you know, that's at the same moment though, you should have relished in it because you knew it was gonna
Yeah,
fucking be
because you
gone.
knew it,
Yeah.
You know,
But hindsight's 20/20.
yeah, 2020. I mean, shit. Had I been older then,
Yeah.
you know, shit. If I could go back,
Let me ask you this. Let's dive into football.
yeah.
Were you playing football throughout your like young life, or was it you got thrown into football? How'd sports come into play?
Well, growing up in California, you know, and starting off in California,
Yeah.
baseball was life. You know, Oakland A's, that was on our TV every single game we caught if
Yeah.
we weren't there. Me, my cousin JR, and Grandpa would take us out there. Grandpa used to be cheap as fuck because he would get us like one Slurpee
Sorry,
and
Grandpa.
like a
Sorry, Grandpa.
and like a bag of like popcorn or something,
Yeah.
and we had to split that. You know what I'm saying? We had to split that.
Yo, y'all
You
giving
know-
Gramps a side eye like, bro, really?
Yo, Gramps used to make us split that shit, man. And we used to hate that, but we loved baseball so much, and that was like our bonding time.
Yeah.
And you know, we played in the BVs in Alameda, played baseball in every league there. Shit, Jimmy Rollins was on our team back then. Wow. Yeah, played with him as a kid.
Wow.
Alameda, man. That was that was fun
What
times.
position did you play as a kid?
I was third shortstop, and then left field.
Lit.
Yeah, man. That was some great times. Thought I was gonna be Ricky Henderson one day.
So what was the transition in sports as a youth? How did football come into the picture? Or was that just natural transition? Did you do track also? You play ball? Like what?
So I played everything, man. Like in Europe, I played soccer, played baseball in Oakland, started playing football in Louisiana. You know, that was where football came from for me. And then track and field came in, I'd say, my junior year out in Japan because, you know, it was just something to do.
Yeah.
You know, there was hot chicks
Seasons
too.
are different too.
Yeah, it was different seasons. So, you know, I started there, just running right there. And then I really loved it. Track wasn't my main focus. Football was. But then when I came back to the U.S., you know, midway through my senior year, I blew out my ankle.
Where'd you come back to in the U.S.?
I came back to Oakland. I went to Skyline.
Was football something that being in Japan you were going to go to college? Then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Was it something that being out there you got the exposure to where you loved it so much and you knew you wanted to take it next level? Were you being recruited like that?
Oh man, I had college recruitment letters. I still have a box of those from when I played in Japan. So I initially thought I was going to go to school playing football.
Yeah, U.S. school.
Yeah.
See, I was going to ask you that, being in Japan, if you had aspirations for college or any thought about what you wanted to be during that time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit, I wanted to be an athlete, man. I literally wanted to play football. Football was life at the time.
What position were you playing?
Tailback. Tailback and kick and punt return.
Got it.
Because I had speed and, you know, I had fucking moves like crazy. So
So you want to go NFL eventually?
Yeah. The end game for me, man, I for sure thought I was going to make it to the NFL.
Really?
You know, and I dedicated all my life to football at that time. Bo Jackson was my favorite athlete.
It's so weird to hear that because you're living in Japan, man. It's not like you could expect
Doing
that from
Bickle commercials in Japan.
doing Bickle commercials, modeling, and in playing football in Japan, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go to the NFL." Because it's crazy.
Louisiana instilled that. Playing for Leesville Wampus Cats, man. I played with some beasts.
Yeah.
Beasts. Cecil Collins.
Was that just like, I feel like, especially in those areas, sports, especially for people in predominantly African American communities, is seen as one of the only ways out.
That was it.
So that fire to make it.
Oh yeah, man.
Is like, this is our shot.
This is it. This could get me out of this shithole of a fucking city. Sports, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, tennis, whatever. That's what you had to look for. You know, because if not, you know, in those areas, man, it was, you know, blue collar all day.
You don't got Bain Consulting in those areas, aspirations to join fucking. And
you just didn't have that surrounding then, you know.
Now, why not the military? Like, why did it stop with you? And did you get pressured? You know.
Oh, for sure, man.
So how'd you deal with that dynamic? You know.
Well, it was kind of my parents' fault. It wasn't such a harsh, you know, constantly moving, not, you know, having your feet like situated in one place where you actually could grow up with someone. I was like, man, I'm not doing that shit.
And they had to know at that point.
Oh, they knew that for sure. They knew that, and I remember. Because my parents, you know, they had set me up for college where, you know, they were putting money in every month since the day I was born.
Yeah.
And since I didn't go to the military, my mom took that shit back.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Didn't let me get that. I was like, well, you don't want to join the military? You figure out college yourself.
No way.
Wow.
I was like, I'm going to do that.
It was like that?
Wait.
Pretty much.
How'd that make you feel at that time?
I mean, you know, at that point, our relationship was shit. So it was just one of those things where I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do this because I'm going to prove to you that I don't need you. And I can do it by myself.
Wow.
And, you know, that fueled. And that, honestly, that still fuels why I do a lot of shit that I do. It's just to prove someone wrong.
Yeah.
What was it just like adolescence and you know, growing up that had you and your mom's relationship like that, or was it like, what was that?
It was a
That had to
combination.
be tough, though, also going through all of these things and then having to deal with that even at that point. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, man, because my mom, I mean, the military made her a very, very strict, militant person.
Got it.
Where at 7 o'clock, if I wasn't in the house, if I was in the house at 7:02, I was getting grounded and whooped, or either both. And that happened a lot of times. And my mom, I always felt that she enjoyed like whooping my ass as a kid, and she did it for a very long time, but would never like hit my arms or my face.
Yeah.
And
damn, the fact that you actually felt that
Oh,
it
yeah.
was enjoyed.
oh yeah, it was brutal, man. It was.
Did that make you like really rebellious as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I ran away from home twice. I ran away home twice in Japan, I think it was, yeah. And I was pretty much like, fuck her. I could figure it out on my own. I can, I just felt like invincible to her. I hated it so much just being there. I was like, I'd rather fend for myself and, hit that reset button. I could figure it out.
Yeah.
I did so long, time and time again before that. Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't want to do anything that she wanted me to do. I just always wanted to go against the grain but succeed.
Yeah.
So that way you can't say nothing,
Yeah.
but you only can say, man, you actually did do it. Congrats.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even get that.
Mm.
College, nothing. Clothing, nothing. Music video business, nothing. DJing, nothing. But, it is what it is.
It's crazy to think that's where your fire can come from, and how it's you use it as a motivation. You use it to get you to almost find yourself and start to define yourself and break away from the expectations she would have on you.
Yeah. It was hard though, man, because as much as I was still doing this, to represent my family well, I was more so doing it to prove a point. Like I didn't need to do what you told me to. That I can figure out what I want to be individually, not being forced to just join the military because everyone else did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make wherever I choose to do in my life, I'm gonna make that work and I'm gonna be successful at it.
Yeah.
And I have been.
Who was your support system growing up then? Because there had to be, for you to be able to have gone through that, and the wildness is still go through that. It's still recurring, right?
Yeah.
Who was the support system though? Because like I feel like at times it can't always be proving somebody wrong. Somebody has to give, and especially in like our youth age, and whether it's friends or whether it's different types of family, somebody has to also instill hope that can also drive that.
Well, when I had my grandmother here, she I loved her to death, still do.
Yeah.
But my grandmother's why I wanted to do everything right. She was always supportive, even when, when I was telling you guys earlier how I would come back to the U.S. and, I'd play sports during the summer. We would have to lie to my mom about me playing baseball because my mom didn't want me to do that. She only wanted me to come back to the States, hang out with my cousins, and just learn more shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have trophies that have never been in the house. They've always been at my Aunt Linda's house. To this day, they've only been there. So every trophy that
how is that for you?
It's crazy. Trophies, jerseys, medals. There's some of that. There's a huge part of when we played baseball. The shit that I did as a kid, I wasn't allowed to. I had to do that in secrecy. Wow, that's crazy. That's fucked up.
Bro, moving around like endlessly, and then also having to keep sanity secret.
It was crazy, man. It was fucking insane.
That's a whole nother layer.
That's
an entirely new layer. It's like if there's not enough stress of moving and not being able to latch on to real friends and constantly, find comfort and being uncomfortable, then to take away the things you actually want to do and find ways to keep that. And that's insane, man.
It's nuts, man. It's fucking nuts.
Do you think that shaped you, like even more so, or like not maybe shaped you, but how does that affect you? Look, like being an adult now, right? And also like calling a spade, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's done or not, right? How do you feel that's affected your views? Do you take it as being like with moving around and with your friends, like how optimistic you were and how appreciative you were about relationships? How does that affect your psyche?
I mean, it weighs a lot on it because everything is like a thought. That's why sometimes I just try to completely let loose.
Yeah.
And just have like no inhibitions, have no like boundaries. Because a lot of times, everything is like an assessment. From walking into buildings, man, like I pay attention to everything around it.
Yeah.
There's memories kind of shot now, but like even when we go out to eat, I can tell you where certain things are. Like for buildings I haven't been in, and it's just it's made me very observant, and it's made me take in a lot. Everything I see, everything I experience, I like to take it in. I like to enjoy and fully immerse myself in the experience now, because now I don't have to answer to anyone. I can fully enjoy every moment, and I know that every moment that I am enjoying, I created that.
Yeah.
No one told me I couldn't do it. Or sorry, no one was able to stop me from creating that. And that's
whatever the outcome,
whatever it is,
you made that decision,
and it is what it is. There's been some great ones, there's been some really bad ones, but at the end of the day, I can sit here and stand and say I did that 100% on my own.
So you come back to the States, right? Where are you going to school, and take us through the ankle being blown out?
So I ended up going to school at Skyline.
Okay.
In Oakland, which was one of the best schools out there for sports, in the Bay Area.
The division was solid, Joe. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bunch of Ichiros playing fucking football, dog.
It was kind of,
He saw future sushi chefs fucking playing football and shit.
We're back on U.S. soil, bro. We playing with the big boys.
Yo.
Cats that are guaranteed D1.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't used to that.
Yeah. You had the boy, like you guys went back to Louisiana, but like cats were bigger then.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Now these fools are looking like grown ass men.
Yeah.
Some of them probably were, but I remember being on and from being the man in Japan to get dropped down to third string out the gate your senior year, bro, that was horrendous. Oh. And then I remember when I actually did get my shot, my fucking ankle blew out. And it was like, yo, this shit's done.
Really? It was that
it was that bad, and I didn't have time. There wasn't enough time for me to get back, get into it, because this was it. This is only half. I only had half a senior year in the U.S. So that was it. And it was like, figure something out. And then I remember meeting this coach named Curtis Taylor, who was coaching the track team there, and he's coached like Otto Bolton, Otto Bolton. He's worked with Carl Lewis, worked with Marion Jones.
Wow.
Like, he has a dope roster of athletes that he's worked with, and he helped me rehabilitate.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the connection like? What
it was? He was a coach just from the track team from Skyline, but he had his own private clinic and all that type stuff too. So he was working the guys out one day, and I remember seeing that. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, maybe I should try this. And I told him what had happened. He was like, you know what, we'll work you out. And so then just started doing a bunch of exercises, different strengthening. Came back, man, and shit. That got me to college, the scholarship status.
So you were able to do track, but not football again?
Yeah. I slimmed down because I was much bulkier. I was just all muscle mass.
Got it.
But I had speed and strength.
Got it.
So literally trim it down a little bit. I was perfect for it.
What'd you run?
Ran the 1, the 2. I did the 4x1, 4x4 in high school. And then in college, I did those, plus I did 400 hurdles. So, that shit's gruesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
The 400 hurdles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the toughest one.
No, that's literally the toughest.
That's the
race.
illest.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
I'll never be
Doing the
I'll never even think about doing the 400 hurdles.
The 400
I'll do 400 hurdles, you know what I'm saying, to cheeseburgers. That's what I'll do.
Dude, I did this 400 race one. I was terrible. I was so bad in track that they just said, like, do long jump.
This motherfucker played football and track. Like
I remember I tried out for the 400 and we did the first race, and this is when I instantly knew just the 400 was horrible.
400 and hurdles.
It's unreal.
You got to be able to gallop though.
They just hit start, and I ran, and I'm sprinting. And
Every rookie mistake.
rookie mistake.
Been there.
I'm sprinting, and I'm way in first. I'm super far down the line. By about 250 in, I start to gas out.
Decline.
That monkey jumps on that back, bro.
Jumps on.
Your mind wants to keep going. You're just like,
My mind's telling me no.
Dude, your body
was
just
not telling you
No,
yeah.
it just starts to disintegrate. You can't feel your hands anymore.
Yeah, man.
Everything gets tingly. It's weird.
That
dude.
silence kicks in, and you're just like, shit. What am I doing right now?
Wow.
And I got hit with one dude who just rolled up, started running, and he just goes by me. He goes, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
Hits me with "excuse me."
So you start doing track after football. Mm-hmm. You realize you're really good at it. It's crazy. You have this coach, a blessing of a coach, but you back at Skyline.
Yep.
You got the top tier talent. You're starting to do track. You're building momentum there.
Right.
Right. Are you working during high school?
I worked right after high school.
Okay.
Once I graduated.
So then let's take it here. Track. You're back in the States for half of a senior year.
Yep.
And then now track scholarships start coming in.
So the track scholarship idea starts popping up. Being that I was only back for, the 6 months.
Yeah.
It was interest, and that coach was like, yo, you should stay. Let me work with you.
Wow.
We probably could get a scholarship for
something.
you. He saw something.
Got it.
And so
was that belief in you enough to, because you're the type of dude that's like, oh man, come on, dog.
now, you know what? At that, I never questioned it.
Got it.
I never questioned it.
What was it about that?
It's certain people that you come in life, man, like the way they just present themselves, and you see that they really see something in you, and they want to push you to that.
Yeah.
And they don't expect anything in return.
Yeah, you lightweight needed that too.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I really needed that because one, I'm already on this whole rebellion that I'm not doing the military.
Yeah.
Two, I'm gonna go to college on my own.
Yeah.
Football thing really fucked me.
Yeah.
So then this track came up. Track was another option. So instead of going straight to a 4-year, I went to a JUNCO. I went to San Francisco City.
Like little developmental years.
Exactly. And that was honestly one of the best decisions of my life.
Really?
For multiple reasons.
Let's get into that.
All right. So you would ask me, did I have a job in high school?
Yeah.
Which, no. I got my job, I'd say it was going into my second year at JC before I was transferring.
Okay.
Track is popping off, scholarship offers coming in. I had got an offer from Cal State Long Beach. Signed a letter of intent and everything. Same time, I was working at Nike Town, and I'd been working there for about a year, which it was it was the first one that opened up on the West Coast, and that was dope. It's like every kid wants to have that swoosh on their fucking chest, and when that opportunity rose to where I think they had came to the school for like a job fair or something, like, oh, Nike Town's opening up, so we need you. We're looking for people.
Yeah.
We want you.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, just do it.
Let's
I'm
go.
in.
Yeah.
So
Swoosh.
I remember I was so pumped. I was super. I'm like, man, I struck gold.
Yeah,
I'm going to college.
Yeah.
And I get what? I think it was a 30% discount.
I think that was great too. That
In-
big ass building.
Yeah.
Insane.
Bro.
It looked great on the outside. But when you get down to the bones of it, man, it was a real shitty monster. It was a monster.
Was that apparent from the onset?
No, because everything new that gets introduced to you has that wow factor.
Yes. The honeymoon period.
It was a beautiful honeymoon period. And the fact that it was Nike, such a big global brand.
Yeah.
I'm running track. Michael Johnson is my idol.
Wow.
He's signed to Nike. I'm like, dude, this I'm one step closer to him.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You know, and I was super down for it at first until, you know, you really started seeing those curtains come off. You know, and what I mean by that is I'd gotten to a little predicament there. I'll say a life-altering predicament, which was I had worked there for about a year now, and when you signed on to Nike, you know, it was like at that time it was like a dream come true, and you know, I was just happy to have a job. Didn't read the fine print, but at that time, any idea, any concept, any addition to the betterment of any current goods that are, you know, in production, if you have those, they owned it.
The work for hire got presented.
You didn't get any additional pay. You got no recognition, and they took that shit to the bank. And I remember
Not even like a job at corporate.
oh, nah. It was just like, yo, let this fool just keep on
He said,
talking.
motherfucker, please.
Nah, it was free range. You know, you just threw that shit out there on the net, and someone else picked it up.
Yeah.
It just happened to be, you know, they had the big net around us, and I remember these two Latin dudes, you know, they loved soccer, and they had designed a soccer shoe, and then you end up seeing that shit on the floor, and the shit's selling well, but they ain't eating. They're not eating at all. And so, you know, that was a problem. And me and my mindset at the time, I was like, man, they're stealing from us.
You said, I'm going to prove y'all wrong.
I'm going to do it from you guys. And, you know, I wasn't the only one that had like crazy.
How'd that thought pop up? Was it like, oh, y'all fucking with us, so I'm going to devise a plan? Or was it like opportunity presents itself and then like, okay.
You know what? It's like I said, I'm very observant. I saw flaws in the building.
Okay.
And
In the building.
Yeah. And that just pissed me off. That really just pissed me off that I had seen that experience with the kids in their shoes and shit like that, and ideas being, you know, taken from employees and employees not benefiting from it. I was like, you know what? This is my response. This is what I'm going to do to take action for, you know, the employees that were with me.
Got it.
And so I devised this plan.
Young Fred Hampton over here, you know what I'm saying?
I devised this plan where we were stealing merchandise, but we never put, our hands never really touched the product. I never walked out with anything. You know, everyone else did.
You said Kaiser Soze, bro.
It was this crazy.
You didn't even need a limp out of the fucking building.
Nah. It was, you know, it was very well orchestrated. It was a fine-tuned machine that I never left the building with an item. But we were taking, I can't even tell you the number.
Yeah.
For legal reasons. Yeah. But we were taking a sizable amount of goods and redistribute them.
Can you take us through the plot?
Well, it's documented, so yeah. It's so what we would do is when you walk into Nike Town, you pretty much are on camera from, if you hit the escalator from floors 1 through 3. Once you hit 3, you know, you're part of the general pop.
The level of meticulous observation here, though, bro.
This is about to be wild.
You know, like, when did you meet Morpheus, and when did you know that you were Neo?
You know, so when you hit that 3rd, that's when boom, you were general pop right there. You had 3rd, 4th, where those are 2 floors you could go within. From the 5th, you could go up straight to the 7th in the elevator, but not the escalator.
Yeah.
Sorry, you could go in through the escalator, but not the elevator.
Got it.
And so what it was is once you went to the 7th floor, which where the bathroom was, if you got up there and you were up there by yourself, you'd send me a text. I would hit you with a text back like, yo, it's all good, come through. You would literally hit the elevator from the 7th. We would knock 3 times. I would press 6. You would come down to my level. I would hand you 2 bags, and you would walk out, and you would never be seen because there was no cameras on our floor, and there was no cameras in the elevator.
Wow.
And you literally walk out, walk across the street. I'd look at you from the window up above, and we was good, and we was meeting up later.
Wow.
Yeah. Take a breath.
We got
Like,
George Clooney in Ocean's 11 over here. Like,
I have a. Yeah. That first of all, that level of planning
yes.
is insane. But also, like, how are you not terrified? Of doing this.
And also, can I add another asterisk there? Is like knowing people, right? And were you ever wary of being able to trust somebody at the same time? But like, let's go through that. Those
shit, man. That was like 4 options.
Well, it's just kind of the mind behind it, of what you were doing that time, or wasn't it even that real? Or like, yo, we can do this. Let's do it.
It was a combination of both, man. So the reason, so you asked, was I scared? Yeah, man. But it's, you're young, you're dumb. It's, you don't think about the consequences. You're invincible. Like, this is a great idea, which it was, and unfortunately was utilized for the wrong general perspective reason. Yeah. In my mind at the time, it was right. It was for something else.
Yeah.
Would I do it again? Nah, not at all. Yeah. Am I proud of it? No. At that time, it was crazy. It was dope. It was fun. It was adrenaline.
You were getting back at the man.
And it was my idea of getting back at the man. It was a corporation. It wasn't mom and pop.
Yeah.
I'd never do that to a mom and pop.
No, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Those are real people that you see. You don't see the person at the very top in this.
Absolutely.
So I didn't have any emotion in it.
How long was that able to run for?
That was over like 3, maybe 4 months.
When? Yeah. You scanned.
Nah, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long.
No, but so how did it end?
It ended in disarray.
Naturally, as most things like
as most things do. It shit, man. It ended when I told someone how to do it when I was leaving. Wow. And they tried to execute it, and they got caught.
What? As you were leaving?
As I was leaving,
you gave a gift. Per se.
Yeah, per se, gave a gift, passed it on. And I was stupid to do it in the first place, and I was stupid enough to share it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it had a reason, it had a purpose at that time, and I paid for it.
Yeah.
I fucking paid for it tenfold. But I got caught up because someone pretty much got rolled, and they rolled on me super quick. And this happened the day before I got caught. Gave me no, inclination, no heads up, no nothing. Just let me fucking burn in the rubble. There. Yeah, man, and that's, man, that was a crazy one. And that was life changing.
And so this was a week before you were going to college.
Yeah, this is a week before college, man. So at this point, I'm scared shitless.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I really just fucked off my life.
Yeah.
I'm like 19 or 20 at this time, and dude, it was all those things I should have been feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling scared. Being just awoke.
Yeah.
I felt all of that because, it cost a shit ton of money. It was embarrassing. I honestly didn't even care what my punishment was. The worst part about this was the disappointment in my grandparents' face. You know, when I had to tell them and get them involved, and it just felt like such a failure, man. You know, and to see your backbone, your heart, you know, see you do something so wrong, and it was completely unnecessary. You know? I didn't need the product. I didn't need the money. Didn't need any of that. But I just did it
to do it.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part, because it wasn't about the money. It wasn't.
No.
And it
just,
was just, this is opportunity to do.
Just did it to do it. And the biggest, you know, it hurt, you know, the punishment that, you know, that they instilled on me.
Yeah. Were you given options?
I was given options. But the one that I chose was, you know, it was I was on probation for several years. I had to do community service, so my first, you know, my first semester in school, I couldn't even compete because I had to come back and do community service in the Bay. So that sucked, man, and I had no one else to blame but myself.
Yeah.
So I had to hold myself accountable because, again, being rebellious, wanted to be my own person.
Yeah.
I did that. But I will say that the biggest and like greatest thing that did come from that was it really got me to get my shit together. You know, I went to college and refocused.
Yeah.
And, you know,
because it could have been taken away.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It could have been taken away, but people supported me. You know, different coaches wrote letters, you know, got letters from, you know, people in government from Oakland that wrote letters.
Wow.
You know, so it was, it was great to see people still support you.
And pillars of the community at that.
Indeed, when they know that you fucked up, but they know that there's something more to you than this.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly got that second look to be like, dude, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You're definitely paying for it.
Yeah. Especially that young. Like,
but we know
possible.
You can do something. Like, there's something good that you have to offer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, doing something like this doesn't even sound like you. And I don't even fucking know you, you know, other than this conversation and hearing about, you know, how you grew up and everything you experienced. It's not like you're a bad kid. It's not like this is just one of several different things, like, you know, a history of stealing or a history of crime. Like, nothing. It's nothing. The one and only thing it's so weird, man. It's such an anomaly in your life, and so it's not surprising.
At such a pivotal time too.
At such a pivotal time, you know, to me it shows that rebellion. It shows that, you know, that angst of where you were at that time. It was just a moment.
It was a moment,
a really fucked up moment, and we've all gone through really fucked up moments. And that was yours.
Yeah,
you know?
It was.
But it wasn't something that defined who you are as a person.
No, not at all.
You know,
it definitely didn't, because you know, the man that's on this podcast now is. I wasn't even supposed to be that person then. It was a poor judgment. It was a moment in time. It was a lesson.
Yeah.
You know.
But the crazy thing about that is, like, maybe it was meant to happen that way. Because if it was different, would it be different if that didn't happen?
That's the thing, man. This ain't Westworld.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know, it was what it was, man. We can't go back and change it. That was that was the option.
Yeah.
But I can't even sit here and say I would change it, because if I did change it, like I wouldn't have been able to make these great changes and opportunities and had this like wonderful life that I have now.
Yeah.
You know, where everything I pretty much do is for others, or other people are always involved.
Absolutely.
From the music to the charity, you know, to working, you know, with friends and entrepreneurial aspects. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Absolutely. What was when you did have the opportunity to compete again? right?
Yeah.
What was that college experience and college athletic experience like?
Oh, man, Division I sports, man. I mean, I commend every athlete on every single level, but high school is definitely competitive. But when you go D1, that is the closest thing to the pros one can even grasp. And half the time when you're out there running, in college, you're technically running with some pros, but they just haven't gone pro because they're running in college.
Yeah.
But they are, they're running for United States. They're running for like Ghana or Great Britain. Like I've ran with people that ran from everywhere, competing in college, at Northridge. Like it's been insane. The list of Olympic athletes that I've ran with or ran against or had the opportunity to train with.
Yeah.
The list is very long. And, just the people I've had the opportunity of sharing the track with.
Yeah.
It's priceless. So for me, college, I mean, that was like the real time where I started growing up with people. My college buddies to this day, those are like my dudes, especially the ones that track. We have a bond that's, it's such a brotherhood. It was such a unspoken fraternity.
Yeah.
You really bond with people. You see people at their best. You see people at their worst. You guys take all the long, shitty trips on a bus. You cramped up, shitty flights, staying in bullshit hotels. Like that was living.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, man. If I could give that opportunity to people to experience that, that'd be the number one gift I'd give to people, man.
The camaraderie that comes from that.
Oh, dude, it's kill or be killed out there, dude.
Yeah.
That's and for me that was, track is an individual team sport.
Yeah.
Everything you do out there, it's strictly the individual, but everyone comes together as a team. I mean, it's such a huge support system, and everyone is pretty much on the same playing field mentally.
Yeah. So
there's no questions, and everyone has the same goal at the end of the day, which is to get that title, to get that crown.
Yeah.
It was just dope, man. It was such a beautiful time. And running, like, if there's any runners that listen to this, they know. It's like when you're out there running, man, you don't hear shit.
Really?
You just feel. Shit goes silent for a bit. You hear counts in your head. You hear your fucking heartbeat while thousands of people are out there screaming. You really can zone out. It's a crazy euphoric feeling.
Do you think also, this is the first time where you actually have stability too, in terms of you're not moving it at all?
Yeah, you're right.
Do you think that was, was that mentally different for you? Could you finally allow yourself to grab onto this bond? Yeah. And a lot of guys from my team now, we still hang out, we talk. We'll be in each other's like weddings and shit like that. Like it's dope. It must have felt great, man.
Oh, it was
to finally just be like have stability and
it's like such a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you're entering adulthood.
Yeah.
You're entering the independence of all independence.
And to be honest, I've had all those 2-year, few months here experiences to properly create the man that comes down here. And then I've had the best teachers, the biggest group of diverse learning experiences that you could possibly have.
Absolutely.
Most people don't get that opportunity.
You've seen the world.
Yeah, seen the world firsthand. On the U.S.'s dime. Thanks, Uncle Sam.
Thanks, Sammy. Now, did you have aspirations of taking track further, or what was your mindset then?
I wanted to compete for a while, but in track, man, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a very rewarding sport, but it's nothing like how, you sign a deal in baseball, football, basketball. You're set. Track, you're still running.
Yeah.
And Yo, you're still running, man. You're still running. You know, like
Literally
running. You know, some deals. I mean, I know some dope dudes. You know, really successful track and field athletes that have done very well for themselves.
Yeah.
But you know, there's only 3 spots at the top in track.
Yeah.
First, second, third, bro. You know,
In the world.
that's it. That's a small pot to pull from.
Yeah.
You just got to be realistic.
Yeah.
At you know, when college was done, man, that's when, you know, you start like unwinding, unfolding.
Hey.
You start living. You know, everybody knows being an athlete during college, and that's a hell of an experience.
Yeah.
You know?
As an athlete, I kind of want to go into this perspective of it just for a glimpse. As an athlete, the childhood dream is always to be a pro.
Yeah.
Right? If you're fortunate enough from high school to make it into college, like that's a step, right?
That's a huge step.
Everybody like for the most part, still 90% of cats, and if I'm wrong with the percentage, let me know. 90% of cats still have the aspiration of going pro.
Oh, for sure.
But 75, 80% of that 90 start to realize very early, even in D1, like top tier level, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
Even outside,
real shit.
Even outside of an injury, right? God forbid.
Real shit.
But like cats get in there and like, whoo, shit. If I'm not cutting it here, how the fuck am I gonna go?
Oh, 100%, man. That's when you take full advantage of the sole purpose of why you were there in the first place.
Now, to that point, do you think that the majority of athletes that come across that potential realization of fuck this may not happen outside of lining themselves and telling themselves that I could be undrafted free agent, I can make it outside of that dude that like will kill for it, who may just make it, right? But do you think that the athletes, even whether they even if they're gonna go pro, right, or they're not, are completely aware and willing to utilize the pivot to be able to take advantage of the fucking mountains of resources that are thrown at the athletes?
I like to say nowadays, yes.
Okay.
I'd say nowadays because now it's every athlete knows what they're getting to. I mean, you're pretty much stepping into your first like real business.
Yeah.
You know, college sports is a huge business.
Sure. Oh yeah.
You know, jerseys, ticket sales, concession, all that's.
When we were talking to Kirk, he brought up, and you know Kirk very well.
I know Kirk very well. That's my dude. Yeah.
And that came up very well.
Yeah.
But when we were talking to Kirk, he was speaking about taking an insurance policy out in college and being able to do that in case he got a career-ending injury.
See, Kirk is a very intelligent dude.
Oh, yeah.
I love Kirk to death, man. Like Kirk is
smart. Shout out to Kirk's mom though, too.
Yeah.
Who was the guardian of the galaxy.
The backbone.
Yeah.
If every athlete was like Kirk, every student athlete would have a successful life after, with or without the sport. You know,
it wouldn't be an ESPN 30 for 30 bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, totally.
It all honestly comes down to if these athletes have like a good support system.
Yeah.
If they do, then yeah, there is a pivot.
But the majority don't.
Majority don't. So that's where it comes. I feel the education where your coach sets them up with some form of course in college. Like, yo, this is, I mean, well, granted, they all know why they're there.
Yeah.
It's to initially get that degree.
Yeah.
You know, football is going to, or basketball or baseball is going to take you through there.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be there for 4 because you're an athlete, you get that 5.
Yeah.
You know, because you get that red shirt year, where the red shirt year, if you play it right, you know, you just train and you knock out as many books as you can.
Yeah.
Some don't want to take full advantage of that.
Yeah.
Man. You know, I know some that didn't. I know quite a few that didn't.
Yeah.
Because they just they assumed and they thought that they were for sure going to do it, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And what they do now is they regret not doing that, man. You know,
that's a big regret because
it's
like
a huge regret.
You have the wildest part about like just the thought of that regret naturally, like, you know, I went from fat Noosh to a little nutritious right now, but there was never like professional athlete in there. But but what it do? No. No, but the thought there is like how in control of it you are, right? Mm-hmm. But again, hindsight's 20/20. Like when you're in that zone, you kind of feeling like the man, but the men that really make it are the ones that, even though they're the men, they're still preparing for the worst, right?
You have
or they're preparing for the possibilities of something. Just like even in life,
Yeah.
right? Nothing's ever guaranteed. Like the ones that succeed and the ones that continue to go, regardless of how long a downturn is, or regardless of whatever catastrophic events happen, the ones that do make it are the ones that persist, but also plan and prepare. Would you like?
Yeah, I mean, planning and preparation are definitely part of it, but then feeling, and actually just going with your gut for certain things, that's also a key to making it.
True.
Timing is a huge factor.
Yeah. Huge.
Timing's for everything.
Yeah.
Whether it's, whether you're an artist, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a designer, timing's everything.
Timing is everything.
We've all seen that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially living out here in LA.
Absolutely.
Timing's fucking everything. Utilizing your resources. That's everything. You can't be scared to ask for that helping hand or to utilize a connection from a friend.
Yeah.
It's a culmination of so many factors. You really don't have full control over it.
You don't.
No.
You don't at all.
What were your thoughts, realizing that, you're not going to go pro as a track star?
Yeah.
What were you going to do after that? Like, what were your aspirations? Did you have a certain career path or certain thing you wanted to do or strive for?
To be honest, I was in a business school at Northridge. Now I graduated with a degree in marketing with minor in economics. I wanted to do marketing. I really did. And my first intern was actually at New Line Cinema, working on campaigns with them. And I remember the first one that we worked on was Lord of the Rings. Wow. So, yeah. That was my internship.
That's a hefty one for the first internship.
That's a big one, yeah.
And that was fun, but keep in mind, as an intern, you don't get the real, meat and the bones.
Yeah.
You get the outskirts.
Yeah.
It wasn't that fun. It wasn't entertaining. And I'm like, man, I'm in school and I'm not going to be just someone's bitch getting coffee and shit that I don't even drink. Yeah. So I remember my boss at that time, she was like, yo, you're good. This is not the place for you. Grace New said that. And she was like, you should do something else. And was like, hopefully in 5 to 6 years, I'll be working for you.
Wow.
So I left. I left that. And
what do you think made her feel that way? Because that's a big statement. That doesn't come just from like the random intern from a college.
Never said that to an intern.
Yeah. You dropped a bomb on him and it's
never said that to an intern.
Oh, is that Will, the guy that makes my coffee really well? Like, yeah, look.
Oh, you don't like this?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be under you in a couple years.
Yeah.
Because Grace was actually like, she was super cool and she was super down to earth, and she let us see everything. From scripts, rewrites, the marketing materials. She let us see that. Let us read it. Most of the times you don't get that. Fortunately, she allowed us to do that.
Got it.
And, we would tell her like our ideas and stuff, and they were like, oh, we got to work these out. These ideas aren't for a 2-month down the line pitch. These are shit that's going to work right now.
Yeah.
This is what college kids want to see. And that whole process that they weren't capable of moving on something that fast. I was like, man, this is boring.
Yeah.
This sucks. You're missing the moment.
Like, it sounded good to say this shit, but like, why aren't y'all gonna do shit?
Yeah. And it was like, oh no, we got to run it down the chains of command.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like that structure.
Got it.
Because then that was the idea that was working right now in school.
Yeah.
This is what we're telling you. We're giving it to you from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
They didn't want to listen. So opportunities, get, missed and passed. And she was like,
this is what it's going to be like, I don't want to be a part of it.
Exactly. It wasn't forward thinking. It wasn't progressive. So that came to an end, man. Had to cut that chapter off, And at that time, that was just an intern. I'm still running track. And I remember because of my internship, I would have to, get practices by myself after my internship.
Okay.
So I would have like one or two guys from the team. They would wait and practice with me late. And I remember one time I was there. This little kid runs up to me, and at that, I always wore like loud shoes and shit. So I was wearing the Michael Johnson. It was like silver, yellow, and it was like the cobalt blue. And the kid says, "Hey man, do those shoes make you fast?" And I remember I was like, "Well, fast enough to where the school pays me, being that I pay for my tuition and books and shit."
Yeah.
And so the kid's like laughs and runs off to his uncle. There's this guy named Leslie Smalls, and he comes back and pretty much says, my little nephew likes you. He was like, I don't know what you said to him, but he was like, this guy is cool. And he was like,
His loud ass shoes are great,
right? And me and him spark up a quick combo. And since I'm from the Bay, we always had this idea of when you come to LA, people gonna be like, oh, I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm an actor, I'm gonna hook you up. So he's like, hey man, what are you doing? I was like, I'm about to graduate soon. And he was like, well, I'm a producer, I'm a director. Take my number down. Call me when you graduate.
The
I'm like,
quintessential character.
everything what we know and to watch out for, he says.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I was like, if you're serious, take my number down. Call me. And I remember saying that like, damn, that sounds like some dickhead shit.
Yeah.
But it was in the moment. It was that was a response I was programmed to say and feel. So I remember after graduating, walking the stage and walking back, he texts me and says, "You ready to work?"
Wait, as you're graduating?
As I'm graduating, because I didn't know that Leslie was also a professor there in a radio, television, and film department at Northridge. Yeah.
So he hit you. He heard William Smith. He saw you shake the hand, take the picture, hit you with the
Bro,
text.
are you ready to work?
You walking off the
He
steps.
hit you
ready?
right after.
He was there. He was a professor. I just wasn't in that
Horns
school.
going off, before they tossed the fucking hat up. You got the text. You ready to rock? Because you leaving this place right now.
Yo, man. And he gave me my first gigs, doing shit. We did a couple comedy shows for like Alex Thomas, Bruce. Then we did this Bruce with
I
it.
haven't heard that in a long time.
Then
I used to watch Comic View all day, bro.
yo, are you familiar with the name Shabadoo?
No.
Breakin'?
No.
Electric Boogaloo?
No.
So Shabadoo, oh man.
No.
Those are hip hop gems.
Was Cool Herc popping at this time?
These are all old school gems,
Yep.
even before my time. But Shabadoo was one of the dancers, and we end up doing a
Shout
music.
out to Shabadoo.
Yeah, Shabadoo's killing it, still kills it. We did a workout video for him. Then
Brought to you by Shabadoo.
Shabadoo. Then
Lord of the Rings to that Shabadoo workout video.
yeah, seriously, man, I'm proud of that project.
That's right. Get it.
Yo, then after that, end up working with this cat Rob Johnson that I had been introduced to through Les, I think, or either on one of the projects, and then started doing music videos. Did Young Guns, a bunch of shit for Def Jam, did stuff for Jim Jones, Cameron.
What was that like for you? Did you enjoy that? Like what?
Man, you know what? It was cool because this is all the shit that I'm seeing all these rappers. It's dope. It's grew up seeing this and
during the era of great rap videos.
Great rap videos.
Like
and to be behind the
golden
scenes on
era.
it, that was money. So I did that for a bit, but it was morally, it was a fucked up business, man. Because at that time, man, people were writing, so how you obtain a music video is like you have to do treatments.
Yeah.
So we be going against other directors, and we're putting in treatments, and our treatment isn't working. Like our treatment sucks.
Yeah.
And they pretty much they should have awarded it to someone else.
Yeah.
But instead, you get hit with that side combo, like
The brown paper bag,
10, 15 stacks, and you guys are gonna get it.
That's just the business.
And that really happened.
That's that payola money.
And I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
morally, I couldn't do it. I did it for a little bit, and I remember one time, Jim Jones's camp came to our hotel, and this wasn't even on no funny shit. It was kind of was. It was like on some goon shit, like looking for us.
This was Jim Jones in the van, just hyped up, just where'd he be?
Yo,
where we going?
And to hear when you come to your hotel, when you come back from being out, saying like, yo, there was a lot of dudes here looking for you guys.
Yeah.
Talking about they needed to get money.
And he wasn't asking to have respect put on his name. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't out there like,
this
baby.
was like, yo, if we don't get paid type shit, you guys ain't getting fucked up. And this was in New York. And I was like, man, I ain't doing this shit. That shit ain't got my name
y'all
on
got
it.
me fucked up.
No.
I was like,
me all the way fucked up right now.
Cool. So, dude, I took a hard left on that side of the world.
Yeah.
And then I got into something a little bit more happy and fun.
Love.
And localized.
It was like after Debo socked that dude. And you want some 2 old man?
Yo.
No.
Yo, and then I started working for Bobwell Productions, which I was a casting director for like Blind Date, Fifth Wheel.
Fantastic show.
Yo, for real.
Staples.
For real.
Staples. You want to be on TV?
Hey, were you around when the game was on, what's it called? Change Your Heart?
No. I wasn't working in it then. That had happened before me.
Got it.
Yes.
What up, JC?
Dude, those days being a casting director were fucking hilarious. The shit.
Yo, take us through that.
Dude, okay, so first off, you through like Facebook.
Wait, you were a casting director.
Well, casting coordinator.
Okay.
Same shit, to be
Got
honest.
you. Got you.
I chose everything and gave it to them. They were like, yeah, we picked all this. We did this. There was like 4 of us that were casting coordinators. And what we would do is, you could go to colleges, go to clubs.
Y'all were on.
Go to on Facebook and shit like that. Shit, I think MySpace was even popping at that time.
Oh.
Yes, MySpace was popping. Then it wasn't Facebook, it was MySpace.
Yeah.
And literally say, hey, you want to be on TV? $150. I got you. And a free date that's on us.
Did it feel sleazeball to you, or was it just like, yo, I'm
No, it was hella funny.
Yeah,
it was hella
man.
fucking fun. So I used to just hit people up. And the crazy part was, I remember one episode that we did, I knew the guy through like clubbing and stuff, and we had these 2 twin porn stars, identical twin porn stars. All right, so we had one of them and a normal chick on the date. The other porn star sister was the fifth wheel. The fifth wheel is never shown until the end. So at the end of this, everyone's like hitting it off, vibing and shit. Think it's cool. And this is my homie that's doing the show. Wow. He has no idea that the chick he's been on the date with is a porn star.
Oh my God.
So when they get into the fifth wheel room, dude, the other porn star is there. So now he's hit with twins. Yo, you want to see your boy bail out. Set him up like that on television.
Wow.
Yo, talk about mind fucked.
You sent him into a booby trap.
Yo, it was one of the funniest.
Packed out.
One of the funniest episodes. He hated me for a bit after that. It's like, yo, you didn't give me heads up. I was like, I can't. But this is the fifth wheel. The fifth wheel is that. That's that fire.
And you can't give him the heads up.
Nah. I mean, we had people for like the interviews. People would do like crazy shit. Like I remember one dude, this crazy white dude, strip down and start doing somersaults naked on camera to get on the show. Yeah. Like people were like trying to like proposition you to get on fifth wheel.
Wow.
And I think at the time it was
fifth wheel at the time.
That show was a gem.
I think it was like 125, 150. There, I mean, thousands of people I put on.
Wow.
That show. It was funny.
That's
it was crazy as hell.
So amazing.
But at that time, man, that was That was good TV.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
For
Awesome.
real.
That was the beginning of the reality era.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a dope purist like reality era.
Oh,
over there.
man. It was insane,
Especially for it's all MTV, right? No?
man. Fifth Wheel, nah. That
What was
was...
Fifth
I
Wheel?
thought that shit was like on UPN. Like,
Yeah,
unless it
that was on
Oh,
a
yeah,
network,
it was
baby. You know,
Network
not
shit.
no sub tiers.
you got that channel with the box TV.
Yeah, yeah, that was a live time, fellas. People and then the shit. People were down to do anything to get on TV.
What was that like for you? So you went from like brown paper bag exchanges, right?
To crazy
to having the
hours.
freedom to say, "Do you want to be on TV?" Right? And also being in a position where you're like, "Damn, these motherfuckers will do anything
Anything
to be on TV."
to be on, man. People will do fucking anything.
What was that like? Like
It was funny.
Did that play on? That is funny, right?
It was entertaining because you saw people would embarrass themselves
Yeah.
completely,
Yeah,
which is a very honest thing.
yeah.
And they would do that to be on television. They didn't care how bad they looked. They just wanted their 15 minutes of shine.
Wild.
And people will do anything for that. Like, it's crazy.
It's insane to me.
It's insane.
It's insane to me. Because even that type of recognition, it's just like, yeah, you want this?
And once it's on television,
It's not gone.
it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere.
It's-
Especially now.
Especially
Once
now.
that goes somewhere, it's coming up somewhere. And like,
At some point in time, it's always going to come back.
how long were you doing that for?
My timeline for that is kind of sketchy. I think I did that whole period with the music videos and the casting stuff. I think that was, maybe 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
What was there an opportunity presented, or were you yearning for more? What was the pivot there?
You know, it was. I was kind of done with it at then.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, I didn't really, see myself being in that. I just wanted a challenge. I wanted something else a little bit more challenging. There was no real thought in that.
Yeah.
You know,
No, absolutely.
It's just like
you wanted to do marketing.
want to do marketing.
How did marketing present itself, or how did you pursue
Around
the
this,
marketing endeavor?
it was a great story. So, a buddy of mine, George Robertson, who worked at Interscope at the time, knew, which is like one of my dearest friends now, D. Murthy
Yeah.
and Andres.
What up, D?
Yeah, shout
What
out to
up, Dress?
Murthy 5'4". What up, boys? And I remember around this time, there was an all-star game in Colorado.
Okay.
I can't remember which one, actually what year it was, but the year that it was in Colorado. I was going up there, and George, around this time, George was like, yo, you got to meet my dudes at 5'4". They're doing some dope shit.
Really?
And then he was saying that to them, like, yo, you got to meet my dude Dubb. Like, he's connected. Like, this will be a good dude for you guys to meet. And so I remember the first time I recall meeting D is we're going to this place called Shelter, which is now currently Hyde.
Wow.
Yeah, Shelter. When
Wild.
that was one of Brian Toll's first promo jobs, if I think. He was a promoter at that. That was one of the venues that he promoted at back then in the day. And I remember we walk in there, and there's a bar. As soon as you get in, before you really even get into the club, there's a bar right on the right-hand side. And we met D. We happened to see D right then and there. And George was like, yo, you two need to talk.
Okay.
We get a drink. I think we exchange cards. After that, it's All-Star Week, and I think that same time they're doing Magic in Vegas.
How early was it in the 5'4's inception?
Man, it
Were they
was
still in school? Did they?
no.
Had
They
graduated?
just finished school.
Okay.
They had finished school, and I think 5'4" may have been a year and a half, maybe 2 years old.
Okay.
Put it this way: they didn't have any employees.
Got it.
It was D. Andres. They had a sales rep, Chris Mahler. And
What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
And then we meet. So I go out, do the All-Star joint. They go to the trade show. They're coming back. And I remember D and we were trying to have a phone conversation, but I'm driving through the States.
Yeah.
Reception's horrible. So we can't even talk. So I recall, if I recall correctly, he invites me down to the office, and we have a conversation. And this is when the office, it was baby blue and lime green with 5'4" and white. Yeah. And we have a conversation. You know, it started off as an interview, but it ended up becoming a convo.
Yeah.
And I think we talked 2-3 hours. And I remember they told me, well, like, look, man, we love you, have you on board, but we're broke. We only can afford to pay you $500 a month. And after meeting those two, it's something I just dove into head over heels.
What was it about them?
It was just so raw and so honest, and it was real. It was two kids that had a dream, and they were putting everything they had into it.
And you could tell.
And you could tell. You could tell. And I loved that energy. I loved that vibe. And you just saw it.
The 500 didn't matter at that point.
It didn't matter. You know, the $500 didn't matter. And I remember he was like, you know, you come 1 or 2 days. And then D told me, this lady was like, yeah, this dude just keeps coming every day. So I started coming every day, man. And every day became a 10.5-year career with them, you know, starting stores, having my own set of employees doing the stores, to creating the online business, you know, and seeing other developments that came from it at the time. Young and Reckless,
yeah,
Tuck and West, Hollywood Cartel,
yeah.
You know,
segued into Young and Reckless,
yeah, like just doing all these dope projects, you know, doing integrations into video games, having campaigns, you know, doing marketing campaigns, photo shoots. It was dope. We saw everything.
What was that? Let's take it through that 10-year career, right?
Yeah.
What was it like in the beginning? Like what were you guys doing? Like, it was a brand new business. They were broke as fuck, but you had two dudes that were in it for 2 years, right? They have a dream. They've been getting pummeled. They're bootstrapped as shit, right? They're not kids that just come from money and they're just throwing it and blowing it.
Yeah.
They're stacking credit card debt like crazy, but they're honest with you. You see something in there, right? You also see potential in your ability, being that it's so small that you can make an impact, right?
Saw that.
You were
that
like, fuck
opportunity
it, like,
presented.
now I have the position to really make a mark here.
Exactly.
And I actually can see myself making it with them.
Oh, dude. I mean, it was one of those things where,
because 5-4's had so many pivots, so many downtimes, so many up times, so left, right, a company amongst friends, right? Company that has gone to the gutter and come up and plateaued and came down and came left and came right. You were there for all of this.
All of it.
Like, let's walk through that, like, early on, because they started out hot.
Oh, we came out super hot, man. We were in. It was a LA brand that had that buzz. It had that buzz. It had the network of friends and family.
Because everybody that is somebody today in this community, right?
Yes, was part of it.
Regardless of whether they're 40 even, right? Or 30 or 20, or the young gunners, like, you know these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys came up with the guys that are running Los Angeles right now.
It was an amazing thing, man, because at that time, it was a time for local brands to do something. There was something that needed to be done here, and they were part of that generation. They were part of that wave that did that. You know, it was crazy, the ripple that was made when 5-4 came out. Like you said, we had the buzz. We were in the best stores in LA that LA had to offer.
Yeah.
And then doing the shows, and then, you know, expanding. I mean, the reason why it worked is because there was always an army of people that were there. Granted, there was very few employees.
Yeah.
The dope thing about 5-4, everyone felt like they were part of it. Everyone was.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to see these two dudes win.
Yeah.
You know, they're infectious. Like, you can see, like, from when if you meet them, if you interact with them, if you've been fortunate enough to work for them, you see that they put in 1,000% of everything that they are into it.
Absolutely.
And it comes out. It talks to you.
Yeah.
And people listen.
Absolutely.
What did you feel stepping into those doors, into that realm? What did you feel you can add to this?
It was family. It was like on the marketing aspect. I mean, because I was connected in the hip hop community. I was connected in the urban world. It was a shoo-in for me. I knew all the athletes. I knew all the rappers. I knew all the stylists. It was a shoo-in. I had brought in a Rolodex of just outlets what I've accumulated over those 2.5 years doing all the shit that I was doing. It made sense, and it felt like I could have such a purpose being here.
That's amazing.
And they gave me that opportunity, man. I mean, they allowed me to do almost anything I needed to do to help build this grow. They allowed me to be part of their dream.
Yeah.
And we have done some crazy shit together.
Insane shit.
Did you ever feel in any of the other endeavors prior to this or leading up to this, did you ever at one moment in time feel like you had a purpose?
Nah, it was experiences. That's all.
Just experiences.
Shit to do. It was everyone's had a job that they worked because they needed to pay a bill or they wanted to acquire something.
Yeah.
All the other jobs before that were just that.
It's so crazy because this is the one job where it wasn't obviously not about the money, purely about the vision and just being a part of something that has a purpose and that gives you life.
It gave me life, and it still gives me life. I haven't worked there in about 3.5 years, but we're just as good as friends. We keep in contact. I see the growth. I see what's happening now with them, and seeing the new developments, the new divisions, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and you just constantly see the regrowth of it. Not even the regrowth, the expansion of it. I've seen it from when it was. When we had a few shitty T-shirts and some vibrant ass, lime green or red, white, and blue jackets from back in the day, to now you're seeing stuff where you can walk into any business meeting wearing. You go to any club and it's acceptable. It's what's necessary.
How was it for you, being that you're wanting to do marketing and being literally a marketing director off entry, right? But building into your talents and your skill sets. How was that for you and your growth in just like career development for you? Like you becoming such a force in that world.
It was, I mean, I couldn't have had a better platform.
How so?
Failure wasn't an option.
Absolutely.
There was no safety net. There was no, if this doesn't work, let's all just go around and do this. This was it. This was, it wasn't a 9 to 5. When we would show up at 9 a.m., we would be there. I remember times where, we'd be there at 9 a.m. to like 3, 4 in the morning, just cranking shit out. It was a pulse. You're part of like a cell. And so, the more work and effort and dedication you put into it, the bigger and better the cell got. So to see that and to always wanting just to make sure that I could constantly keep feeding the cell.
Yeah.
It was inspiring. You don't get that many opportunities in life to be part of something from the beginning, and, you're nurturing it.
Yeah.
To make it become whatever it ends up becoming.
Absolutely.
So we've seen this from infancy.
Infancy.
And now it's a fucking strong, substantial, successful man.
Very big man.
It's
very
amazing.
Big man. Yeah. It's wild.
And to be part of that, it's that says a lot. That speaks volumes, not even just for me, but for them, to being able to provide that space to be there so long.
Absolutely.
On everyone's standpoint, for them to constantly, there was ups and downs to the point where, D has said, and he's been verbal about it to multiple people about, he should have shut down a while ago, and he didn't, because knowing him, the reason why he did it wasn't because he wasn't hitting his goal or anything. he was responsible for all these people. And I've heard him say it before. He had to make sure that it worked because there's so many other people that are dependent upon this. That's a very selfless leader.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's somebody you fight with to the end.
To the end. You follow him anywhere, you fight with him over anything. You know, that was a hell of an experience in life. You know, and hundreds of people say the same story, you know, about him, that he'd do anything for you.
He really would, though.
100%, man.
What was it like dealing with the waves that 5-4 as a brand had gone through? Because literally, it's like almost from inception, the way I picture it is like D and Andres got in a rowboat, right? And literally have experienced going to, through, and coming out of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
And you literally got told right when this little rowboat left the bay, hey, bro, you need to get on with them. They're going to a really cool spot down the river a little bit, right?
Right.
You just didn't know the current was going to take you through that. But you were kind of cool because you're like, yeah, like these dudes are hella dope. We're rowing on a boat. They have a couple fishing poles here.
We'll figure it out.
We're cooling. They got a cooler that's packed. We got like a good 2-day trip. And it became y'all were lost at sea at certain times.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like for you? Because I want to put it into perspective, because you are a very charismatic leader, but you're also, which is the beauty of the upbringing, you're also extremely meticulous, very, very, very perceptive, but you have, it's not a dominance, but you have a very firm belief in how things should get done, the work ethic that's required to get these things done, right? And you're very, very, you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Right. And you expect so much from the people that you practice with, right?
Yeah.
And that you preach to, right? Because you embody that. Being that you've built such a strong relationship with them and knowing the turmoil that they've gone through from a business standpoint, in terms of being able to do your job, and in terms of the swings that your role takes in going through this, how was that for you? And how did you deal with that? What were some of the things that presented themselves? And like, what was that experience like in like a formative manner?
It was almost like kind of like growing up and traveling again.
Ooh.
I mean, because, you know, when I first came in, there was like, you know, what do you want to do? I said, I wanted to do marketing. You know, at that point, there wasn't a shit ton of stuff to do in marketing because, you know, everything was limited to budgets and, you know, resources.
Yeah.
But we had product. We had relationships. That was a huge part of our marketing. But then, you know, when we started doing online orders and deliveries, we all did that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was never, I was never stuck behind a title.
Got it.
A title was a formality.
Yeah.
It didn't limit me to, you know, running the stores and creating the retail business, you know, that we did together. It wasn't, you know, feeling awkward when it's like, hey, man, we have a lot of orders. Do you mind packing bags and, you know, doing orders and shit like that? I didn't mind that because it was just another
loading
thing.
the whip up and, you know,
yeah,
taking...
and that's and to be a good leader and, you know, to be a director of something, you need to know how everything works. And a lot of people do get caught under the mandate of a title and feel like, oh, well, my title says this, so I'm only supposed to do these bullet points. You'll be stuck. You won't go anywhere. You won't provide added value. Added value is when you go far and beyond and you do absolutely what's necessary on every account, from whether it's under your job title and it's not. If you can help, you know, a coworker do something, do it. It's not taking any strain in your back. And the stronger you guys are, the stronger the whole ship is.
Absolutely.
You know, so for me, you know, when we were trying to do new things from, you know, from the stores or, you know, online, even overseeing our actual sales team, it's what was needed.
Yeah.
And so I was always down for it. There was times D would ask like, yo, do you want to do this? Or do you mind doing this? If it's needed, if it's necessary, let's do it. And the fact that it was the first time I was doing it, and also majority of the times it was the first time they were doing it as well.
Yeah.
We all learned together. Everyone always, the communication was always strong, and they always helped me when it was necessary, and vice versa. So it was honestly, it was like doing and being willing to do whatever's needed to keep this family together and keep it strong, keep it thriving through bad times and through the great times.
Yeah.
Because the great times, everyone shows up. Everyone's
absolutely.
There.
Absolutely.
It's those shitty times, when shit does get hard, you got to step up, because if you let it sink and die, man, you're going to just go down with it.
To that point, yeah.
No, it's true, man.
No, but to that point, because this is something where like it's beautiful to me how the story of business goes, because it's trials, tribulations, but I want to pierce that a little bit, because it's brilliant to me that you have two kids that started an entrepreneurship project in college, have gone through hell and back, right?
Yep.
To have pivoted and after literally, it's now where it's really blossoming, but after 14 years, right?
Yeah.
Have gone from 0 to 50+ million with verticals to go.
Right.
Business done with friends, right? They're still friends, but they fight all this, all that. You became a part of the family.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Were there times where you guys were fighting with multiple instances? How was it for you? And let's go through like that aspect of you came into the circle. You were a friend and family.
Yeah.
So this is a business that's survived 14 years of, people say never do business with friends. This is a business that survived 14 years of two really close friends from college.
Yeah.
Right? Granted, people grow apart. People have different interests. Not to say that they don't like each other anymore, but people's lives blossom in different ways.
Yeah.
And in that 10-year stretch, all those things are happening too, whether it's sinking or whether it's flourishing. The camaraderie is always there. But what was that aspect like, being that you guys were all friends doing business?
It was scary at times, man, because we were so close. We spent 12, 14 hours a day with each other.
Yeah.
Probably
day
after day.
Night.
Yeah.
Because after we was done with work, we were the same group of friends that we're going out to go eat, to drink, to go party.
Yeah.
That's tough to separate sometimes, man.
It really is. And it was at times. I mean, sometimes it did get in the way. It cloud people's judgments. There were times, where I was reprimanded from, partying too much. There's other times when, the partners were going at it with each other.
Yeah.
There's always going to be, like in any family, in any real strong business, there's always going to be heads that'll be bumped. But to be honest, man, it was one of those things where if it got to that point to where there was an argument or there was a blow up, yeah, people had their feelings. People got in the moods.
Yeah.
That was like a 2-3 day thing.
That's real life.
It's real life.
That happens. We can't gloss over.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
And you really did have that. There was times, people want to fight each other.
Yeah.
But as any family, you work through it. And we were all so committed to this bigger picture. You got to roll that shit over.
Were there any moments in your 10-year span, right? Even like, let's say from year 1 to 8.
Yeah.
Were there any moments that you were on the brink of saying, you know what, fuck it, for one reason or another? Or was it always, if it needs to get done, it gets done? Just even from a personal standpoint, because 10 years in a company, you don't see that.
No.
Nah.
Even camaraderie.
Especially
so,
now.
Were there ever any moments, for whatever reason or not, the reason isn't the important part, were there ever moments where you were like, shit, another opportunity, right? Or really, really dope and progressive opportunity, or just difference in opinions, or just, damn, I don't know if this is 10 years in clothing.
Shit, man.
In apparel, right?
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
Were there those moments, or was it always just like, you know what, fuck it, like this is squad, and we ride together, we die together?
So
because even a lot of friends, even sometimes opportunity comes in life and it becomes a life decision.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, shit. That's where lifestyle happened. I mean, yeah. When I started with them, I was jumping into someone's dream. And I was providing and doing any and everything necessary to help make this dream come to fruition.
Because you know no man left behind.
None. That's the way it's built. That's the way I was programmed.
Yeah.
So I was, at first, it was just like, fuck it, I'm going to just do this, work as hard as I can, make sure this shit works. And I literally thought I was going to be there pretty much forever, you know, because I really loved it. But you have that like internal clock where there's things that you want to do personally. Yeah. I didn't want to do this. This wasn't my dream. This was theirs. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. You know, I had a great time. I had a great career in fashion.
Yeah.
You know, and it forged a lot of great relationships, a lot of great experiences, which have helped me in my current career today. But there, I'd say 8 to 9
years.
9 years, it's where I was really just wanted to do like my own thing. You know,
did you know what it was?
I've always been a fan of music.
8 years in, and just like knowing you itching for something.
I think it was.
Was it you just felt like you wanted something different? Like, take us through your mind then, because look, this is something that I'd like the listeners to get across, is that you're one of those people that will ride to the death of something. Yeah. And you put your heart into it, you put your soul into it. And it's like, I love that we've been able to get to like a very big part of why, right? And I've been fortunate enough to be your intern when I was in the same entrepreneurship program, right, at SC. And to shed light on the reason why I go here is that, so I'll take it back to this. I'll reflect on my first experience with D as well. I got connected to D through Deshaun Cunningham, who happened to be a runner at USC track and was also in my entrepreneurship program. Deshaun, what it do, baby? Right? And he, like, it's crazy because I had like gotten into fashion and all this. Like, I'm not a fucking hype beast fashion guy. Right. I just met a bunch of designers at Fitum. I lived in Medici, and I was like, shit, let's start a clothing line. Y'all are really dope. And I was just trying to slap dick, put it together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this was the entrepreneurship idea that I presented for my entrepreneurship track at SC. And Deshaun was like, yo, I just spoke with this dude, D. Like, you really need to meet him and see if you can get up in there. Mind you, I was supposed to intern for LRG that summer.
What a time.
What a time. And it's crazy because I'd spoken to Jonas inside LS&S, which happened to be the first store that ever took them. I was literally a shoe-in there. My boys were like all up in Orange County. I was from Orange County at the time. But I had brought to light in my conversation with Saya that, you know, I wanted to start my own clothing line. Like, I wanted to go there, get experience. But I'm down to work my ass off. You know what I mean? And at the time, we had already had like prints of our brand out, and cats at the LRG offices were rocking them. So I was like supposed to go up in there, and then it became Ghost, right? But coincidentally, I had met with D a couple weeks following that. Right. And I went in there and I was like, it wasn't even an interview or anything. I was just like, yo, I'd love to pick your brain, right? And I kind of brought up, like, in that conversation, like, I'd love to intern for y'all. You know what I mean? I told him my story. We vibed, we connected. It was the shout out to The Office, connected to Monarchy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where Chris Stamp was at UNIF thugging, right?
Yup, thugging it out.
I walk up in there, it's Chris Mahler, you, and like it's crazy the setup and the history of that. We won't get into that.
Oh my God,
But
that's off record.
I walked into there, and at the end of our conversation, D being D, right? Because D is somebody that like he's very present and very intuitive also, right? But D is also somebody that believes in people, but that also will like call you out on the spot. Mm-hmm. And at the end of my conversation with D, which turned into like a internship interview out of nowhere, right? And me being like, look, I want to start this clothing line. I'd love to come in and learn, all that like super like juiced up and like passionate and all this shit. And D, at the end of it goes, so you want to be an intern here and you're trying to start your own brand. Why the fuck should I hire you? Why the fuck should I bring you on? You want to like come learn from me and leave?
Yup.
But at that time, him saying that to me, like literally Thug Noushy came out though. Thug Noushy came out and I was like, because I'd be the best fucking intern you've ever had. No question. Like what? Right? He said, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Boom. First day. No, now we're going into a little fucking, now we're going into
Now
a little,
we bring us together.
a Noushy monologue here, yeah? First day I walk in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not. Whoop. Right? I walk in with fucking Rockin' Republic jeans on, a motherfucking black LRG hat, right? And I probably had some bitch-ass Christian Audigier shirt on. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
I walk in, and y'all know me. I'm like, what's good? Super social. Like, what's going on? Hey, Noosh, nice to meet you. Blah, 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 woo. Hey, how you doing? I'm walking in, just hype, energy, just in my head, I'm beaming. You know what I mean? Woo, we here. So they tell me, they're like, all right, you're going to be working with J.Dubb. I sit down, this and that. I sit down next to him. I'm like, what's going on? How are you? Noosh, pleasure to meet you. Like, what we going to do? Dubb is on the computer. He looks at me. Literally, picture this, folks. It's on the computer. He looks to his right at me. He looks to his right. I'm on his right side. He literally looks at me, starts typing again. So I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes.
He doesn't even say hi?
Yeah, no, and it was so powerful that like I didn't even like want to like again, because he was just back to work, right? And then the next thing you know, he looks at me and goes, "What the fuck are you wearing, bro? You can't."
You called him out,
bro. He said
immediately,
bro.
Internship, bro.
He said
it's a program.
He said you can't come in that shit. He said, you know what? He said, you know what? Go to the warehouse. The warehouse was connected at the time. He said, go to the warehouse, pick out some different fucking clothes, and pick out some extras, and never come in like that again. This is 5'4".
That's insane,
right? And me, I wasn't a little like, I didn't have rebellious Nike Dubb in me that yet, right? I was like, all right, word, let's run it, right? Mind you, for 3 months, I came into the office. Noushy is shit. Sit down next to Dubb. Dubb, what we doing? And like there's little glimpse of like, all right, we fuck with each other. He's like, all right, yeah, good job, this, that. But then cold, ice, alligator fucking veins.
Ice
right?
you, bro.
Boom.
3 months I come in, G. And he gives me the same look and just fuck you back to work.
Put you on ice, yeah.
The whole time. I'm in it. I'm in Dubb's grill. I'm doing whatever the fuck he's asking
every
for.
single
I'm
day.
going above and fucking beyond. I'm telling him that I've told D that I'm gonna be the best fucking intern y'all fucking got. Like, fuck with me, right? Whenever I made a little minor mistake, like I'm talking the most minute fucking minuscule mistake, I get my ass handed to me, right? And at first, I was just like, why the fuck is this guy being such a fucking asshole? But in my head, I was like, oh, you gonna know who the fuck I am, right? So with that same mentality, I just came in every day. And the last day of my internship that year, I was literally in the office till probably midnight, 12:30. And Dubb pulls me aside and says, "Congratulations. You are the best intern we've ever had."
That's amazing.
And I stuck on until I graduated. And even after I graduated, was working. And they offered me a job. And at that time, too, it's crazy because they offered me a gig. And it was like, yeah, we could pay you like $2,000 a month and like figure out gas and shit. And I was trying to do entertainment shit at that time. And I was like, you know what? I'm cooling, but I fuck with y'all. Anything y'all need, you know it. And throughout the years, it's been that way, right? But it's wild because like you're such a charismatic leader. Like, to be honest, like it was to the point where Dubb got me to the point, it was like I entered a fucking total institution. Dubb broke me down and built me back up, right?
For a reason.
Right, for a reason. And me just wanting to do great work allowed me to embrace that instead of trying to be, I was rebellious to the fact of fuck you, I'm going to prove to you I'm the shit.
Yeah.
Right? But he also nurtured that and like, look, whatever I needed moving forward, Dubb already told me like, look, I got you now. Whatever the fuck you need, whatever the fuck you do, I got you. Right? Now going back to this moment in 8 and 9 years, and I only bring that up just to give a little context to even my first, interactions with J.Dubb and the building process. And mind you, he ripped me the fuck off when I was in college, a fucking broke college
Still
student.
talking about that TV?
That TV, dog. You know what I'm saying? We won't get into the details. The flat screen that had a fucking tube back.
The front was flat out.
But at that time, like, what was it for you, like, going into, like, even feeling that you wanted something new? Was it that you just weren't being fulfilled with what it was? Was it that you had an inkling to what you wanted to do?
It wasn't a lack of fulfillment. It's, building that foundation with them was phenomenal. But at the same time, it wasn't for me.
It wasn't your dream.
Like I said, it wasn't my dream. It wasn't my pulse anymore at the time. I'd given all I could, and before it got out of hand, you gotta.
What is out of hand at that point for you?
Out of hand to the point where it's like, I loved working there. I loved being there. I loved being part of the team and the family for so many years. But then it got to a point where, 8 years down the line, this still wasn't mine. I had a lot to show and I had a lot of, accolades in it, but it wasn't mine. And I've always been like a fan of music, and music has always been something that was something that I wanted to be part of.
Okay.
And an opportunity, opportunity arose with also, like you said, working with friends, business with friends. One of D's best friends and his roommate during college and after college was Brian Toll, and Brian was opening up, Bootsy Bellows. And, at that time I really wanted to just give this DJing shit a shot professionally.
Were you like practicing?
Oh man, I was practicing all the time. And then, people think I just jumped into it, but I didn't. Like even back in Oakland, I interned at KPFA and KPFB with, hip hop legend Davey D.
Shit.
I interned for him at a radio station. My cousin worked on a radio station. I would go there and, fuck around with him on that. He used to do pirate radio also. So we would steal a frequency and we'd be live.
That's
on the
insane.
air.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was insane. It was always there, music was always played in my house, and I'd loved, in the Bay, there was raves. I loved that rave scene. I loved like the rhythm, just the unity, the vibe in there. And it was something that I just never, I never gave it a shot. I never gave it, the time of day. It was a hobby. Now, hobbies are definitely things that people love, and it's therapeutic. It keeps like your sanity. But I knew for me, it could do so much more. Mm-hmm. I always felt that it could do so much more. And I remember Brian gave me an opportunity to DJ at his club, to be the opener there.
How long had you been like even practicing or tooling around with the idea that you wanted to DJ?
Man,
Actively pursuing it, just even in behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, man, it may have been
Because that's not something where like H Wood Group, Brian Toe, and even if it's your best friend, like you don't just like start DJing and be like, "Yo, you want a shot at DJing?"
No. That was honestly, like I said, like since I was younger, it was part of me. But like practicing, when I used to go to clubs, and I would sit in the booth and just watch.
Yeah.
A good portion of the time when I was in clubs, I would sit there and watch.
Yeah.
And I would learn, and I would watch videos, and I would go home and I would practice. And I remember, I think it was 2000, maybe 2009, or maybe earlier, when I remember 5-4 for one of my bonuses. Anand actually said, go map out how much it cost for you to practice DJing, because we're going to give it a shot with you.
Wow.
You know, like eventually, like, you know, one day we want to see, see you do it. Cause you always talk about it. I used to always talk about it in the office. You create playlists and shit like that.
Wow.
And so, maybe it was like 2010, and literally gave me a check, told me to buy what I needed so I can officially, really, really practice. Not on just going here, going there, practice at a friend's house, so I could practice that shit at my house.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And literally that's all I did. I would just practice day in, day out. And, I was the best damn DJ in my apartment.
I feel you.
And, just shit, man. It just felt good. It felt right.
Yeah.
And then, I did a couple like small joints, and I'd start DJing at the 5-4 store, just practicing live. So I always had like a little bit of an audience where I could perform in front of, whether it was AJ at the house or you guys all coming through like chilling.
He'd always ask me like, Noosh, like, how was that mix? And Noosh, like, how was you know what the crazy thing is? Even then, I'd be like, bro, like it feels good. Like, you know me, I'm not technical with the music shit. I'm like, bro, I couldn't tell you how smooth this shit was, but I was like, I just know it felt good.
Right.
And you dropping dope records.
Right.
And it was one of those things where everyone in the office knew it and was like, dude, give it a shot. Give it a shot. We support you. And if it doesn't work, then just come back.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
crazy. And that was like in 2012, 13.
Oh, okay, so just a few years ago.
Yeah. It was like, yo, give
Right
it a
when
shot.
they were pivoting too.
Yeah. It's like, give it a shot. And that shot and opportunity came when, thanks to, Brian told for the H, where they gave me the opening set there at Bootsy. And then after they gave me that, I ended up going on tour with Jay Sean.
Nice.
And going out of the first date we did was in Oregon. Ended up playing the Rose Parade.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a radio station joint there, and performed at the Rose Parade with him.
First gig, Rose Parade.
Hey, man.
Fucking NBC.
You gotta start somewhere, dog.
It was a radio station joint where
Gotta start somewhere.
it was Sean Kingston was there.
Nice.
Kylie Rae Jepsen. A bunch of other artists. Oh, Nick Jonas was there. No, sorry, Nick Jonas. It wasn't Nick Jonas. It was MKTO and Shaggy. Wow. And a bunch of other artists that were there. And we performed on that, and that was insane. And we had a good vibe. And literally, next thing I know, I'm in like Dubai, Vietnam, Romania.
Was it real to you at that point?
It was nuts.
Or was like
It
still
was
surreal?
it
Like,
was
am
a
I
dream.
fucking gonna wake up?
It
and
was
like,
a dream. It was a dream because it just like happened. It organically happened.
Did you have fear though?
Oh, for sure. I still have fear. Fear is the fuel.
Take us through that. Like, what were you scared of? especially in the beginning, because like yeah, naturally, like you went on a run that was like wild. You went on fucking Rose Parade and then touring with Jay Sean, right?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like blessings to that being like the first initial jump. But you know that at this point, it's becoming more real. But you also know that like this is something you want to build your life off of.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers aren't 22.
Nah. And it's one of those things where, you know, fortunately I don't look my age.
Yeah.
And age is not my personal factor, so don't bother asking Playboy.
You
know, right out that black and Japanese.
You know what's wild? I saw he sidestepped an age scenario earlier, and I just knew. I already knew. Like Dubb's age is Phantom Dubb. Like Dubb's 67 and nobody knows it.
Ain't like that, player. It ain't nothing
just
crazy.
Player. Yeah, no, but age isn't a factor, but
it's a factor in decision making.
But you're a fearless dude, bro.
It's like fuck it, you know.
Because you've left everything behind before, time and time again.
Yeah, you've had this pattern, you know, all growing up, and then what's crazy is like growing up, you've had that, and then you were super committed to something for a really long time, probably the first time ever in your life being that, and now going, you know, again taking that step into the unknown. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's the fucking music industry, one of the most rockiest things you could do.
You've already seen the fuckery of the music game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you already knew
the
fuckery of the scene in Los Angeles too. You're a heavy hitter marketer. So you played to the promoters, played to the clubs, played to the venues, played to the big organizations that run the nightlife scene.
Yes.
You know everything. You knew everything that went into all of that.
Yeah. That's why that part wasn't the scary part. The scary part was this a smart decision? Because, you know, I constantly heard from everyone's like, oh, dude, you're tripping. You shouldn't do this.
Well, smart in terms of what, though, you know?
Well, you know, people like, oh, well, you've been doing this for 8 years, so I expect for you to do it for 25 more. Or you hit a certain age where people think like, oh, man, you can't change. You can't do anything beside what you're doing.
But again, you're going to prove them wrong.
Got to prove them wrong. So I lived for that, and I live for that, you know, and it's been it's been a hell of a ride, man. I mean, the shit that I've had the blessing and you know, forthcoming to. I mean, I've performed at a music festival in Shanghai. I've performed in Dubai. I've had a residency in Las Vegas, in Atlantic City, and Foxwood Casino. I've residencies in LA now. I've had the billboards. I've been on television. Like it's dope. It's been an amazing career shift. It's fun. It's enjoyable, and it allows me to see the world in a different light. It's allowed my travel, my business opportunities have increased drastically. You know, working with corporate companies now, DJing, like I love that. And it's more than just, you know, just going up and playing music. It's like curating moods, creating vibes for them, you know, working with award show production companies. It's so much more than just getting up, playing in front of a crowd, getting fucked up.
Right.
I'm beyond that point now.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not gonna sit there and lie and say I don't sometimes.
Yeah.
But now it's a real business, you know, and it's a business to where, would I suggest people to get into it just for the money? Nah, it ain't gonna work. You got to look at other levels for it. You know, there has to be other end games, you know, and being able to curate your own brand to make you stand out amongst the other thousands of DJs that are, let alone just in this city, let alone the millions that are out there in the world. Yeah. You know, and it's being able to find, or if not find, create your niche in that world.
What do you think has allowed you to create that? Because, you know, it's wild how even like when you think of musicians and just entertainers, like when you talk about a working actor, right? Mm-hmm. Or there's movie stars and there's working actors and there's struggling actors, like there's a lot of people, whatever the fuck field it is, that you may not know their names globally,
Right.
but they're making a shitload of money, or they're making a lot more than some of these people that do have humongous
huge names. Yeah,
right.
Definitely. I mean, it's figuring out what you're doing it for and how long you plan on doing it. You know, that's why, you know, the club thing is great.
Yeah.
Doing clubs, you know, it keeps you hot out here. It's great practice. It's fun. It's entertaining, but it's different. You know, especially, you know, playing in LA versus playing in other cities where you really get a pulse back.
Absolutely.
You know, you get a huge pulse, a huge, you know, reception. Out here, it's tough, man. Mentally, it can fuck you up out here. You know, but
I mean, we're spoiled out here.
I mean, and you're competing against like every other hot entertainment out here.
Exactly.
Every fucking juggernaut that's coming
Exactly.
out.
It's like you have every concert, all the other clubs, sports, events, everything is going on. So it's like
it's so much.
It's so hard to impress
and you
people.
see that
LA.
on a week in, week out basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can
It's
see
not
it
like it's not like
every
fucking
single
Poughkeepsie,
day.
God knows where they're like, whoa.
And then on top of that, and it's so fierce because everyone who wants to be doing what you're doing moves out here to do that. So it's absolutely fierce.
I mean, shit, I've been out here 16 years. Works for me.
It's awesome.
This is a great canvas.
For real.
The city is a great canvas. You could create anything into reality.
Did you want to foray into like production and getting deeper?
Oh yeah, definitely do. I mean, DJing and DJing at first was just solely it, but then that's not long term.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be in the clubs DJing forever. So definitely music production is the next development of it. Personal merch, and then also creating a business to provide merch for other DJs, just specifically for DJs or small like bands and acts like that, because I know that side of the business.
Yeah.
And then also literally working with lifestyle brands and, you know, incorporating music into their flow of things. You know, like being a DJ and working with a corporate brand, which, you know, I work with T-Mobile a lot, and I've worked with like Samsung. I've worked with Microsoft. I work with some pretty big like tech brands.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you do with them, it's not just getting up there and just DJing for a bunch of people. I mean, there's conversations, there's shit to build.
You got to curate an experience.
Curation of an experience that goes from so much more than just music to the sound, to the ambiance, to the smell, to the environment, to the people that are even going to come to it. You know, it's so much more. And, you know, utilizing my previous experiences in fashion and in marketing, it's into this is a perfect culmination of everything, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love it. I simply love it. You know, it's such a window of freedom and opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, music forever be there.
Absolutely.
Forever. You know, so, you know, it was risky, but it's been so rewarding, and it's only getting bigger and better. Every year it's gotten bigger and better.
It's awesome.
You know, and success not just ranged on the financial blessing, but on the type of gigs, the perception, the other platforms that I've been given opportunities to, you know, embark on. You know, speaking at colleges now, you know, about entrepreneurship, you know, and you know, being willing to take a leap on that, you know, that leap of faith.
Absolutely.
You know, it's been amazing what this is, the opportunities it's brought for me, and the other doors it's opened.
That's incredible.
Man, it's wild, man. It's a wild ride.
It's such an evolution too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane, the evolution.
Yeah, fellas.
What are you looking forward to? What's in the horizon?
Well, in the immediate, check me out on AMAs, motherfucker.
Oh.
Hey! We took it from the fucking
No way. From the Rose Bowl to the AMA.
the Rose Bowl to the AMAs, bro.
Oh man.
Next time Dubbs on the podcast, he's gonna be like, Super Bowl, motherfucker.
Oh, you know we've done that twice. Shout out to H-Will Group. You know how we do. First year was with Drake. Second year was with Little Weezy. Nah, man, it's like I said, a lot of great things coming along. My partnership with T-Mobile is just flourishing into becoming like a really bigger presence with them.
Incredible.
Next year will be my 3rd year working with the United States Latin Chamber of Commerce on behalf of T-Mobile, curating their experience for their weekend-long event. This next tour that I did, I just came off of a tour called In Crowd, where it was for 16 dates. I only could do 10 due to traveling, so looking forward to that again next year in 2017.
Awesome.
More residencies, and there is a nice project that's in development right now.
Word.
That unfortunately I cannot.
No, do you like how I automatically just kept it at that? Like, cool. I know you're not gonna elaborate. Cool.
Yeah, just cool.
Awesome.
Cool, got you.
Watch out for that, y'all.
Well, yeah,
We got another one.
we'll hear about
Another one.
on the next episode.
Episode 2 coming to you.
Get it.
Dub, I want to ask you something, and this is in summation of this incredible story that, like, I'm still blown back by it.
Thank you, man.
What would you tell your younger you right now? Like, looking back on all that, and essentially, like, I guess the younger you that I'm speaking of is a shadow for the kid that's out there just searching, right? If you were to be able to, like, write yourself a little note that you could literally mail back in time, like, what would that be for you?
That's a wonderful question to wrap this all up. If I could talk to the younger me, I would tell him to be more fearless. I would tell him to believe in himself more. I would tell him to really enjoy and really embrace the moments and the opportunities that are given to you. And don't ever take any of it for granted, because as easy as it comes, it goes even quicker and faster. I would say never allow yourself to be held or caught into someone else's perception of you. Because that can hold you back from a lot of things.
That could hold you back forever.
And I would say live even more. Live way more. Travel more. Converse more. Cry more. Smile more. Talk more. And feel comfortable in what you are and what you have. You know. And honestly, just try to never forget. There's things where, parts of this story that we've talked about that I haven't thought of in a long time. And I would say definitely, I would definitely tell my younger self to forgive faster.
Oof.
Yeah. That's what I would tell the younger me.
You know, it's crazy. That was the deepest. That was the deepest.
by far, man.
Forgive faster.
Yeah, man.
You know what's crazy, though? If the younger you could see you now, I'm sure he'd say thank you. Because you already did it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so happy this story was told. Like, literally, words can't describe my gratitude and my love for you, just as a mentor and as a human being. And it's brilliant for me to be able to know that somebody that has touched my life so deeply and has made me challenge my perception of what greatness is can be told. And with that, let's hit him with that, Mama, we made it. Mama, we made it! Bang.
Good one.